Alrighty, hello everybody. Welcome in and welcome back to the Going the Distance podcast. My name is Ryan Bennell and alongside me is Elijah Span. We are very excited for today. If you have listened to any of our previous episodes, then you would know, or if you simply just look at the title, this is our 50th episode special. We've been waiting for this for a while. We knew we were going to do something special. If you didn't see our posts on social media, basically what we're going to do for this episode is it is going to be alcohol influenced. We're going to be taking a shot every time we acquire 10 new viewers on the live stream, and we're going to drink every time somebody leaves a comment with a decent hot take, something that's not just completely out there. And we'll take a shot for every hot take that we think is perfect. 10 out of 10, we agree, fire. There is a little bit of limitations though. We're going to do one per user because we don't want, just a bunch of people making Elijah and I do shot like a what's the LMFAO party rock anthem, that song, whatever. I don't know what
Shots.
I'm thinking. Yeah, literally it's called Shots.
Come
But
on,
yeah,
man.
so this show will be something a little bit different than we normally do. We're hoping that this show is going to be dictated by the viewers, by you guys. We're hoping, get some comments, hot takes going, lead in the discussion. But if not, as always, we have our outline ready. We have what we're going to talk about. And that includes ranging from the World Series, of course. We got some hot takes coming in for you. We got a Thursday night football preview and some fantasy DFS discussion. And last but not least, we're going to be hitting Love It or Loathe It with our boy Zach from Betting on the Rocks podcast to make
Taylor
all
Fit.
of our best picks. What was that?
Taylor Fit, not Love It or Loathe It.
Oh my God, did I say Love It or Loathe It? Oh, I wrote in
Yeah.
Love It or Loathe It, bro. My brain's
Come
all
on,
over
this
the
is
place today.
like the third time
We had a
you've done
lot
this.
going on trying to get this together, but it's here. We hope it works out. First up, we have a lot of guests too. That's one thing I failed to mention. We got Braden Rue is going to be coming on talking about some baseball with the World Series, and then next up, Noah from the Blanket Coverage Podcast is going to come on. Sorry, I'm trying to think of the order in my head now. Then we're going to have JD, James Danielson, one of our bloggers as well. You might recognize him from his fantasy series. And last but not least, of course, Zach Rieger, as I mentioned, from the Betting on the Rocks podcast to make all of our bets for this weekend. All right, damn, I just introduced that whole thing, and I still haven't even shouted out our actual intro. So be sure to go and check out all of our content over at gtdsports.com, where you can find a multitude of podcasts on our network. And you have fire blogs from all these guys you're going to hear from in just a second. So be sure to check that out. We're over on social media at GTD_sports. Other than TikTok, we are at GTDsports.com. So make sure to check us out there. And last but not least, if you subscribe to our newsletter on the website, you'll get email notifications for all new episodes and stuff like that. All right, that was a hell of an intro. We got a hell of an episode. I'm hoping you already got your beer started. I got my beer started.
Exploded on you.
Yeah, I was about to say I just spilled a few drops too, but it is what it is. Shit happens. Yeah, it's been an interesting day. I have no food in my stomach, and alcohol is about to be consumed, so we'll see how that goes. That's an interesting recipe.
That usually works out. So
yeah. Anyway, as always, let's go ahead and start out our Thursday episodes like we normally do.
Hey, I hate to do this to you, but before we start, we already have 10 viewers on Twitter.
No, bro. So we already got 10 viewers?
Yeah.
All right, time to take a shot. Get it ready.
Oh, fuck, I forgot to grab my salt.
I'm
going in this tequila raw.
Dude, you got chasers? I got no chasers.
Beer.
I guess I got Chick-fil-A. Oh, yeah, that's true. Beer. All right.
Let's say Chick-fil-A sauce, you fucking psychopath.
No, dude. Bro, I feel like, oh, yeah, just so you guys can see, this is alcohol. All right. I feel like I'm going to regret this, bro. Cheers.
This is a fat shot. Cheers. 50 episodes. Puts hair in your chest.
All right. Yeah. Gets the blood flowing. Chest is warm. Oh, all right. Oh, dude, Fireball is just like, it's like not normal liquor, but it still just gets it gets me salivating. I got a lot of liquid now.
Yeah, I remember high school.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, let's hit the Would You Rathers.
Let's do it. Me first or you?
You go ahead.
Okay, so pretty happy about this one. Would you rather work for the Washington football team or Ellen DeGeneres?
I've heard a lot of stories about Ellen, like working for her and stuff.
Yeah, she's terrible. She's awful to you. She like hazes her interns.
What the fuck? I'm trying to think. Would I rather work for the Washington football team? I mean, we all know, we've talked about it before on the show with Dan Snyder, just everything fucked up about that organization. That's tough. I think personally, I would rather work for the Washington football team just because if I'm going to be miserable at my place of work, I'd rather be miserable at football than at a talk show, with a bunch of random celebrities. I feel like football is the way to go there, no matter what.
Yeah. That'd be tough for me because I'm a Cowboys fan and I hate Dan Snyder, but Ellen DeGeneres is also a huge bitch, apparently.
I have heard that.
And according to my grandma, she drinks the blood of babies, so that's not good either.
Drinks the blood of babies?
Curious about her sources, but I mean, hey, Facebook's usually doesn't. It's on the internet, doesn't lie.
Yeah, Facebook would never lie, bro.
That's tough. But okay, what's yours? What do you got for me?
All right, so mine's a little World Series related since that's going on. So, would you rather watch a very close World Series game back and forth, or a back and forth close primetime regular season NFL game?
See, that's a good one, especially for me right now, because like this weekend the Cowboys do play on Sunday Night Football. So if it's my team, then like the Cowboys and it's this World Series, like Astros Braves, I'm gonna watch the Cowboys play. But if it's not the Cowboys, then I'm definitely gonna watch the World Series.
That's fair. Yeah, I had a little bit of a tough time, because if it was the Bengals, I would probably be on the same side. But for me personally, I think the World Series like just trumps everything because I'll be, sitting in my house watching sports or something, and people are like, "Oh, like, do you want to go out? You want to go do this?" I'm like, "No, it's the World Series. Like, it's not just a baseball game; it's the fucking World Series." You know what I mean? Like that just holds magnitude.
For sure.
All right, those were all right. Oh wait, drink now. Oh, we forgot this part. Drink in between each little section. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna regret this idea by the end of it. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, we could have made it a lot worse on ourselves.
We really could have, yeah.
I mean, we set the terms. If we bitch out on our own terms when we compromise, I don't know.
Oh no, we can't bitch out. No, we're not bitching out. We're gonna do the full show. We do it for the fans, bro. We do it for the people.
We do it for exactly.
Yeah, shout out mom and dad for watching. All right, but anyway, it is about that time. Let's go ahead and get into the heat of it. We're going to have Braden Rue on now in just a second. Going to come on and talk some World Series, talk some baseball. And yeah, we'll be back in just a second. All right, Braden, how we doing?
What's up, boys? Pretty good. How about y'all?
Pretty good. Thanks for being here. So for those that don't know, if you don't know Braden Rue is one of our bloggers here at GTD. You guys can go check out all of his work on our website. It's good stuff as always. But yeah, so for today, baseball, World Series. What is just, before we really get into anything too specific, what is your thought process behind this World Series, even just the matchup itself, Braves-Astros? What are you thinking?
Man, I almost wrote a blog about this, actually. October is my favorite month of the year. We've got the NBA starting. We've got the NFL right around week 8. This is when we really get to see things, kind of be how they are. But we've got the World Series going on. Who frickin' cares about that stuff? Like, this is baseball prime. Late October, this is a magical time. When I saw the matchup, man, I think this might be the worst matchup we could have gotten from the entire playoffs.
Really?
No. Yeah, I mean, rooting for the Astros, dude. Who the hell can do it? I hate to bash anybody. Honestly, I've done my homework. I've put aside that bias. Probably the best offensive team in baseball.
No, you're right. It is annoying that the Astros are as good as they are. I hate it.
It is, and it makes them hard to root for. And being a Texas guy, I'd love to be able to. I know a lot of my friends here are Astros fans. They're very hard to root for because of what happened. And I think the Braves have it going on.
Well, the thing gets me about Astros fans is that they've been shit on for now about 2 years for what happened, but they've been shitted on for so much that they've taken the reverse approach, and now that they think that they're victims, and I hate that. I don't. They've taken the. I saw a video today, and this guy was crying about how Bryan Cranston didn't want to root or watch the World Series because he didn't want to support the Astros in 2017 or what happened there. And he was like, "This guy's a Dodgers fan. He's just crying because we beat him." I'm like, "You're Astros fans. You're crying because your team got caught cheating." Like,
Yeah, and I think the important thing to remember is like if the Astros were doing it and it was high profile enough for them to get caught, they more than likely weren't the only ones. The beauty of baseball is it is a cheating sport. You know, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
I mean, it's iconically, the steroid era. It's like if anybody's going to talk about cheating in sports, baseball is the go-to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
It's got the most examples out of anything. But I mean, with that being said, you cheat, you're the ones that win off of it. You're the ones that get caught and don't really get punished and then still end up acting like the victim. I completely agree, Elijah. I hate
And
it.
still having the best contracts in all of sports.
Yeah, no,
Well,
yeah, absolutely.
debatably, but for the most part, yes.
Absolutely.
So I
Andre,
find
I like it.
I find it interesting you said though this is like I forgot the word you used, whether you said like the worst or most boring like matchup for the
Yeah.
World Series. What was your original World Series prediction like at the start of the playoffs? Because Elijah was more correct than me, but I was dead ass wrong. I had the White Sox and the Giants, and that did not
Yeah.
work.
I was dead ass wrong too. I picked the White Sox. My roommate's from Chicago. I hear all about the White Sox, and as well as they played this year with being as hurt as they were, and then them finally getting healthy towards the end of the year and looking like the team they were. I thought they were almost a lock, as much as you can be in a postseason series to be in the World Series. So I had the White Sox and the Dodgers, just a touch off of you.
Yeah, the White Sox, they're deep. Their pitching is deep. Their bats were playing well. I don't know. I liked them, but
yeah, I had Stroh's Dodgers. I thought it was going to be a rematch, but Braves had other plans, which is still probably them having the lowest amount of wins and then still getting the World Series. Lowest amount of wins of any playoff team and getting the World Series is highly impressive. Like them beating the 106 win Dodgers, especially after the Dodgers beat the Giants. But you kind of have to ask the question though: is how much did that 5-game series like take a toll on the Dodgers when they went into that Braves series too? Though.
Yeah, I
definitely
completely agree. I do think also what kind of helped the Braves out is they have faced up until this World Series, they have faced probably the two best pitching staffs in the MLB in the Brewers and the Dodgers. So they're kind of primed through those, I think, to get to this World Series with the Astros, whose pitching has struggled. Their offense has carried them all year.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I think that this is definitely, we'll see a lot of ball games as we've seen the last couple nights with, 8, 9, 10 runs being put up, just because these two teams really are offensively powered, and the Braves just keep getting hurt with their arms and all that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So like now after like 2 games, it was a blowout by the Braves game 1, blowout by the Astros game 2. Arlen's like a well-won game, I'd say. Who do you think has the upper hand? Like, what have we learned so far in these first 2 games?
Man, I really think it comes down to just the quality of pitching you get. We saw in game 1, the Astros started Framber Valdez. I'm sorry. He had one really good start. I want to say it was against the Red Sox this postseason, but also kind of sucked earlier in this postseason as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a toss-up. Who can actually get a starter that can come out there and eat, 4 or 5 solid innings to turn it over to the bullpen and keep the runs down?
Yeah, the Astros had that one really good pitcher. Garcia was his name, the young guy who pitched game 6.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So he'll probably is he the starter for next game? I haven't even looked yet.
I can't remember, but like he's been kind of streaky too because the game before he played, he was awful. I think his ERA was around like 24 or something ridiculous before he walked in that game. But then game 6, he was lights out. So like Astros pitching has been a little streaky so far in this series, and the Braves have been a little better. But I mean, the Astros offense is just so much better than the Braves.
Well, yeah,
So,
last night you would have
Yeah.
thought the Braves had the pitching advantage with like at least in the first
Max
few
Fried.
innings. Yeah, in the
Yeah.
first few innings, but shit, didn't matter. Also, how does my audio sound now?
you
You're
sound
good.
better.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
much better.
I made a big old goof, bro. I realized I was on my crappy gaming headset mic. So apologies to the listeners for the quality. We're back, baby. But we got a comment here on the live stream that says, "Fuck the Astros. They blow donkey cock. The Astros are cheaters." I will drink to that. Yes, sir.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Valdez in game 1 at least. Valdez, I swear he was saying I can't do this to himself on the mound. You guys talk to themselves on the field, whatever. I swear you could see him say that, and it looked like the dude could not throw a strike without it getting hit hard somewhere.
Oh, are you talking about Fried?
No, I'm talking about Valdez in game 1. Fried
Oh,
similarly
okay.
though,
Yeah.
Fried similarly though, it got to the point to where almost every ball he threw, or every strike he threw, it was just like, okay, where's this one going to be hit hard to?
Yeah. And then that's why my buddy Tanner just commented Morton is out for the Braves and McCullers out for the Stros. He's a huge Astros fan, so he's probably going to say that Astros have the advantage in this one. But I mean,
yeah, and
I would say they do. I mean,
I would
do.
too. I don't think you can, look at the numbers and everything and say that the Braves aren't the underdog a little bit in this series. Now, will I be betting on the Braves all World Series? Absolutely, because I hate the Astros and I hope they lose. You can't bet against that. But yeah, no, it's going to be a hitting whose bats can catch fire and get to that starter first. And yeah, the rotations are really going to decide this one. They're both looking a little shaky.
Yeah,
Bro,
this
so
game.
back to that Charlie Morton thing though, just talking about, him being out and everything. We haven't really talked about just how badass that was of him though, to stay in the game and pitch. Like, I don't know if it was necessarily a good thing long term, but holy shit, like, what a baller, dude.
Yeah. I mean, so I looked into this a little bit more. So since it was like, it was fibula that he broke, I looked into it right before the show. So the doctor that was commenting, it was a story from CBS Sports. The doctor that was commenting on it said that on these impact-like injuries, they're usually they're less painful than it would have been if it was broken from like a twist or something like that. So like, there's probably not going to be ligament damage, but either way, I mean, the dude's pitching on a, sorry, your buddy's making me laugh in the comments.
Yeah, we got a hot take. Y'all should kiss. You know what? I won't take a shot, but I'll drink just because that's a funny comment.
I'll take a shot for that one.
Oh, made me lose my train of thought, man. Wow. But yeah, dude, what a pimp. He's
just talking about the baller.
Yeah. I'm staying in and I'm striking out Jose Altuve's little ass, and then I'm coming out because this shit hurts. Like,
yeah, especially, bro.
amazing.
I wonder how much, and I mean, you could relate this to really any sport, any high stakes situation, but I wonder how much his adrenaline played a part in this. Like, I wonder if he really even felt pain at all. He probably knew something was wrong, but I wonder if he felt like the severity of a broken bone or not, just because of, you're in Houston, enemy territory, fans screaming at you. You got guys like Altuve at the bat. Holy shit. Adrenaline's got to be just racing through you.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think so. I would be surprised, like you said, if he even like realized there was actually something really wrong until he threw, whatever that, I think it was a breaking ball to Altuve that he struck out looking on. And yeah, no, he was obviously in pain after that. But before that, he looked like he was fine. He had a little limp walking off the field, but walked back on completely fine and was dealing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, he was, I think he had given up, what did I write? Yeah. 1 hit so far in that inning or in that game. I mean, he was dealing. I think that one, that guy's going to be missed. He's good.
Yeah.
Have you guys been betting the World Series at all?
No, I've been staying out of it.
I've been throwing little $10 bets on Braves money line both games.
Oh, really? Okay. I've been trying to play it to my strength. So like I have the Astros winning the whole series. That's my pick. But like I didn't bet on game 1. I kind of let that go to be my feel out game. Yeah. And after the Astros lost, my brain was just telling me there's absolutely no shot that the Stros go down 2-0 heading into Atlanta. There's just no way. I don't care who's on the mound. They're going to win. So I threw like 4 units on the Stros last night, and that was very nice.
Yeah,
But
good call.
yeah,
Good
the
call.
first few innings made me feel so great. It was like 5-0, and I'm like, oh, all right, thank God.
You can
thank
go
you.
to bed early since
Exactly.
it's 10 o'clock at night and it's the 3rd inning. You can go to bed. Like,
Yeah, I definitely turned it off after that last home run by why am I blanking on Altuve's name?
Yeah, the Altuve.
Yeah,
in
that
the
last
7th.
Altuve home run, I was like, all right, this game is fucking over. Like Stros are
Dude.
just rolling.
I believe it was right before that, but Dusty Baker looks at the dude and is like, "Hey, you're second. Like you're second on the postseason home runs list. Just so you know." Like,
Dude,
just
hey,
absolutely hilarious.
I gotta ask though, like, what's up with Dusty Baker's mask? He has the biggest fucking mask I've
And the
ever
gloves.
seen. He looks like Shredder out there. From
Yeah, look at his hands,
Teenage
dude.
Ninja Turtles.
Gloves.
That huge. I mean, I get the gloves thing. I mean, he's
It's weird
17
though.
years
Like
old.
he is, but like it's
weird with COVID.
all very I don't know. I love it though. He's his own dude. He's a hell of a coach. I mean, or a hell of a manager. Yeah, it's crazy that I don't know. And I think he's handled. He kind of got this job, and he was put into an impossible position. I mean, he had all the talent in the world on his roster, but all of them were freaking cheaters, and that's all the entire world saw him as.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so I mean, and he's brought them back to the World Series. You can't.
I mean, the world still sees them as cheaters, though. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder when or how long it needs to be for that blemish to be removed from the Astros legacy, or if it ever will be.
It never will. You still remember the White Sox because of the Black Sox back with like shoeless Joe Jackson back before, color photo. Color
hardcore
video and
baseball
everything.
fans.
Yeah, well,
remember
yeah.
that
Okay.
White Sox.
Yeah,
Casual
I was
fans.
gonna say, 'cause
do
I
not.
I was gonna say I consider myself a casual fan. I know about the Black Sox, but I wouldn't be able to
Okay.
like tell you the details. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna say that the cheaters thing is gonna be around as long as Bregman, Altuve, and Correa are all three together.
Yeah.
yeah.
As long as they're
Yeah.
the core of that team, they're gonna be cheaters.
And
And I guess Gurriel too, but less so.
I think we could even see it last a little longer than that, just because like I personally won't forget it.
Trash can memes are gonna last for another like 10 years probably.
Yeah. I got to go to a game later in the summer with the Astros visiting Arlington. Brought a trash can. Had to. Brought the inflatable trash can.
Yeah.
There's just no way
Absolutely.
to not.
Yeah, I went to a Rangers Astros game earlier this year too, and I got a little testy with some Astros fans making some jokes.
You have to.
Yeah,
you
have to.
absolutely have to.
And the
it's
city
all
of
love,
Houston
it's all
too, 'cause-
sports. It's all love, it's all sports. Just because I'm going to make fun of you and your fandom doesn't mean it's like Ryan and the Bengals. Like just because I make fun of the Bengals doesn't mean I hate him.
Right.
But
Hey man,
yeah,
nobody can make fun of my Bengals this year. All right, nobody can make fun of them,
it's the best team in the AFC.
dude. I still
Technically.
can't process it.
Yeah,
I don't understand
technically.
how it's happening.
He's on
Panthers
cloud
part
nine.
2.
I really wouldn't be surprised if we end up just crashing and burning and finishing like
First
7
round
and
exit,
10.
wild
I don't know,
card
bro.
loss.
I hope not.
I don't
I
even
hope
want to
not.
think about it, bro. But hey,
Yeah,
I
I
saw
hope not.
actually. I know we're kind of going a bit off topic, but I did see Joe Burrow. He had a quote where he got tackled, like clobbered. I forget which game it was.
The
Oh,
Eagles,
it was-
yeah.
Like the play got hurt, and then apparently he gets up and then he tells the players that tackled him, and he says, "When I'm the GOAT, I'm gonna get that call." Yes,
Yeah, and
yes, sir, Joe. You
And I
fucking
think he said
tell
it
him.
to like Fletcher Cox and somebody else too. Like
Yeah,
he's
you
looking
tell
at
him.
like an all-pro Pro Bowler.
Yes,
Since we're on
sir.
the subject of football, I'm going to relate it to Charlie Morton a little bit. Did you see all of JJ Watt's injuries? He's out for the year now. Did you see his
Yeah.
injuries?
Oh
Like
my God.
torn labrum, dislocated shoulder. Like
What the
he had
fuck
4
goes
like,
on? In his body? Like I wonder what is just how? I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying. And then
All
the
of
other
them were
night,
such brutal injuries.
and he played on Sunday. Like his shoulder is like on the brink of like falling off. And he played. So
Yeah.
that's- I mean, it's similar
Well,
to
he
Charlie Morton.
wanted to kick the Texans' ass because
Yeah, you have to.
you have to
similar
with
like
everything that went on. in
Charlie
that
Morton, though. Charlie Morton had to strike out Jose Altuve. He had to say, "Listen here, you little bitch. You don't know what pitch is coming. You're about to sit down."
Oh, hey. We got a comment on Twitter. Zach just said Cordell Patterson finishes as the RB1 in fantasy.
Oh, I hope not. I traded him.
as the RB1.
That's a hot
Our-
take.
That's a
It is
hot
a hot
take, so
take.
I'll drink, but it's not a perfect hot take, so I'm not taking a shot.
I will say his usage, it seems to have gone up. He continues
worth
to
a
be
shot.
effective. You and I, Ryan, you and I talked about this not long ago when we were saying the guy's getting 30% of snaps out of the backfield. There is absolutely no fucking way that he
I will say
continues.
his snap percentage has increased a little bit.
It's increased. He's almost split in time now, and he continues to catch the ball. He continues. I mean, he's getting carries now. What did he get last game? Like 12 carries or something like that? Like it's ridiculous. I'm a little mad at myself for trading him.
That was a dumb call.
Hey, I
Yeah.
traded him in one league, but I got Jonathan Taylor from it, so I'm
Yeah,
I
who
traded him
immediately
for it.
exploded
Yeah.
after you made that trade.
Yeah.
exactly. Oh, also we got another comment here that says only reason everyone says Justin Herbert is better than Burrow is because Burrow got hurt last year. Preach
Yeah,
to the choir,
disagree.
Mr. Cole
I
Markey.
disagree.
I would-
Cole,
Preach.
go ahead.
That's a
Elijah.
shot for me. Fuck it. That's worth it.
I wouldn't say that's a hot take. That's more just like I'd just say that's accurate. I'd feel like
I
that's
mean-
pretty because Joe Burrow was the rookie of the year before he got hurt. Like he was the de
Yeah.
facto guy, and then he got hurt, and then Herbert just kept on doing what he was doing all year. He didn't stop, and everyone's like, "Holy fuck, Herbert's really good."
Well,
But
also, if you
honestly,
put-
though, if it was a bubble or a choice, Herbert or Burrow, I'm taking Herbert.
No,
I am
you're
too.
wrong.
I am too. I completely
No.
agree. The dude, he's insane.
All right, I got to do
He-
this to you guys.
He's brought that Chargers team to a new level.
Let's see. I'm going to pull it up. I got to pull up the numbers now. All right. So 7 games into this season. Let's check out the numbers real quick. So Joe Burrow has 34 less passing attempts, has 4% better passing percentage, has 200 more yards than Justin Herbert, averages 9.2 yards per attempt compared to Justin Herbert's 7.2, and also has 5 more touchdowns than him.
He only needed
Give
his wide
me
receiver
Joe
buddy to
Burrow.
come bail him out. That's all he needed. He needed Jamar Chase to come bail him out
Oh,
like he did at
fuck
LSU.
off.
Herbert's,
you know what I
Herbert's
mean?
also got the skill position group, so you can.
And Mike
But-
Williams.
Yeah,
st-
Herbert
stood-
was
stood
dropped
up,
into
stood
a.
up. I don't know.
And that's the kind of I think we're seeing that with the early round draft picks compared to like some of these other guys that were taken. I guess they're all except for Mac Jones
Right.
kind of struggling a little bit.
I would take Herbert and Burrow over any of these guys this year, though.
Agreed. So far, I mean, if you want to rule out Trevor Lawrence so early, I would have a hard time doing that. But like those two guys were able to come into the league and immediately contribute, and that's something that we haven't necessarily seen from the rookies so far this year. You know,
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it makes them that much more impressive that those guys have been coming in and balling out the way that they have, and these rookies are just. I mean, they've been ass. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it.
they have no, yeah.
Mac Jones is your best one, and he has the handcuffs on. You know?
He does. He's got the handcuffs, and he's got absolutely no weapons that aren't tight ends.
But yeah, that's true. But all right,
Alrighty.
Braden, thanks for stopping by. What's
yeah.
your World Series prediction at this point?
Yeah,
And
final
how many-
World Series
Oh,
prediction.
Man,
Now that,
I-
'cause that was
my heart says Braves in 6. My mind says Astros in 6.
okay.
So I'm gonna go Braves. That's my take. That's how I'm gonna live my life for the next couple days. I appreciate y'all having me on.
All right,
Yeah,
thank you.
definitely. Any last minute social media promos? Shout yourself out real quick.
My Twitter is at Braden Nehru. That's about it. Every other handle's the exact same. So yeah.
All righty. Appreciate you coming on, and we may see you in the near future. Never know. Be sure to go check out all of Braden's blogs over at gtdsports.com, and we'll be right back again. We'll swap them out. We're trading for Noah Parker from the Blanket Coverage Podcast. It's going to be coming on. We're going to be talking about some hot takes and just general sports. We'll see what goes on. Anyway, thanks for coming on, Braden.
Thanks, boys.
Yeah, I see Noah dancing in the
Yeah.
background with the
The
Yeah.
beat's pretty solid.
Dude, every time we play that little transition video, I have to just be like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, of course, I don't illegally stream because it's illegal, but it's like the Stream East halftime
sure.
show. You guys know what I'm talking about? Y'all are
No, I
watching
don't think
Stream
so.
East?
Oh yes, dude. Yes.
Yeah, with the cat. Yeah, that cat just
I
like
know it.
rolling the whole time.
Yeah.
They used to do, I don't know if they still do it. They used to do a halftime show where whoever was doing the stream would DJ like at halftime, like they would just be playing like this like really hard like EDM mix, and it was just like a loop of the cat going like this.
Yeah, I've had a couple of hangover Sundays on the Stream East, and just that comes on. I'm like, oh, just got to bump.
Absolutely electric, you know.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so just a quick intro. You guys probably already recognize Noah from our other content on YouTube, Twitch, everything like that. He is one of the co-hosts of the Blanket Coverage podcast and one of the bloggers here at GTD Sports. So happy to have you on. You ready to talk some hot takes?
Absolutely. So this one, I'm going to start off pretty lukewarm, and we can go through. I don't have that many, but we can go through as much as y'all want. So I think the college football playoff this year, I've seen some people saying that this is the most fun season since 2007. Now, I don't think anything can ever top 2007.
Dude, I was 7, bro. I barely remember
in the top 5. Like, what the hell is going on? However, I think for as fun as this season has been, it's going to be Georgia, Oklahoma, Ohio State, and Alabama in the playoff.
I think you're completely right, because that's actually one of the ones I have written down, is that somehow, some way, an undefeated Cincinnati is just going to be left out.
Yeah, they're going to go for the quality loss thing. They're going to call Oregon like a very quality loss.
And I hate that. I hate it, bro.
It's the worst.
The same Oregon that lost to UCLA, that got blown out by Arizona State, and the same Oregon that beat Fresno State by 7 points at home.
They actually beat UCLA.
If there's, I think this
Oregon?
season,
Oh, shit, you're right.
This season is going to end up being the best argument for the 12-team playoff.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you have so many teams in the top 10, and I think they can legitimately all beat each other. I was really, really hoping that Penn State would at least give Ohio State a game, but that does not look like that's going to be the case. Penn State, their offense is downright putrid.
No, they're dog shit.
It looked fine before the Illinois game, but then everything was exposed against Illinois. Yeah,
exactly. Did you see James Franklin this week said something to the effect of, they asked him, I think, about the USC job. I didn't actually watch the full clip. I just had the quote.
They said, on to Illinois. He said, what about the USC job? He said, we're on to Illinois, and they just played Illinois.
No, he said, we're on to Illinois. We got a really tough game coming up at the Big House. Which is 2 mistakes. 1, they're playing Ohio State, and 2, Ohio Stadium is very much not the Big House.
Very different, yeah.
Yeah, 2 very different venues.
That's tough. Yeah, he definitely has 1 foot in Cali right now.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure he got a new agent too.
It seems like, James Franklin might actually be leaning towards going, because I know Penn State fans have been dying to hear something similar to what Mike Tomlin said. When Mike Tomlin was asked about the USC rumors, he said, never say never, but never. I'm never going to consider that.
Great Tomlinism. The ceiling of the roof.
Yeah.
Wait, no, what was it? The standard is the standard. That's what it was. The ceiling of the roof was Jordan.
But no, Franklin, I think he's definitely it. And if you think about like Penn State, that's like a really good job, but it's not one of the, I wouldn't even say Penn State is a top 10 job.
But you know who brought Penn State out of the doldrums of scandal, right? The greatest coach in modern football at the moment.
About
also, we have 10 viewers. Oh, we had 10 viewers.
That counts. Fuck it. 10 viewers. Shot time. I'm doing it. I was about to say it too. I was trying not to interrupt. That counts. I saw the 10.
I was keeping watch.
Twitter, YouTube,
accountable. But the coach who brought Penn State out of the depths of scandal, that would be Bill O'Brien. Cheers,
Bob.
And I think sometimes you got to go backwards to go forwards.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Especially with a situation of that magnitude.
Yeah, no, but not even talking about that situation. I think they got to go out and hire Bill O'Brien.
Oh, like right now?
Yeah. Like when James Franklin leaves, they got to go out. They got to scoop Bill O'Brien up, because Lord knows he's not getting another NFL job. That might not be true. The
I was about to say maybe
playoffs. a lot.
There's also too, I think it would be interesting now that the LSU job is open and the USC job. Those are like probably two of the top 10 hottest commodities in college football for coaches, at least. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this all pans out. If James Franklin does actually go to USC, maybe that's going to, stick. Could Luke Fickell may even jump into Penn State instead of where he's been rumored for LSU and stuff like that.
Thought. Yeah, no, the Penn State element of this makes the coaching carousel very, very interesting because that's clear number 3. Maybe not a clear number 3, but LSU I think is actually the best job out there.
Well,
right
yeah,
we
didn't even mention LSU yet, which is by far and away the number 1 option if you're a coach.
Yeah, I would rather take LSU over USC any day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, it's been said ad nauseum, but the last 3 LSU head coaches have all won national championships.
Right. I mean, it's definitely a place where you can win. Like, yeah, you have Bama, and you face Bama every year, but you also have the national recognition to compete with Bama. It's kind of like there's a reason why, Jimbo Fisher is being talked about and linked with the LSU job, even though he's at A&M, which is nationally recognized. You can recruit in your own right. Is like, yeah, you could probably win a national championship at A&M if everything goes right and you really excel, but you could do it at LSU that much easier. Like that much easier. So, I mean,
and this is actually a good question. What do you think is the better job, Penn State or USC?
That's a tough one.
SC, that's easy. It has the history too, and it's in the Pac-12, so you're not competing against Ohio State or Michigan or Iowa or any of those Big Ten defenses that will just punch you in the mouth on any given Saturday.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm 50-50 because I would like to say yes, USC does have a little bit more prestige historically. And yes, Pac-12, you'd be going against less competition. But as a head coach, sometimes the competition is the draw. You would want to be the guy to come in and shut down Ohio State, take over that conference. Which Penn State, right now, they're kind of at the point where they just need they just got to get over this little hump. And then they're going to be a legitimate top 10 team.
They got to go from 10-2 to 11-1.
Yes. Yeah. Well said. Yeah. Exactly. Which is hard. Very hard to do.
Very hard in the Big Ten. No, I think Penn State has a legitimate argument based on the fact that California, we know it's a hotbed for recruiting, but you have a lot more competition in that state. Whereas Pennsylvania, also a big hotbed for college football recruiting.
Yeah, kind of slept on. Yeah, you're right.
One of the top 5 college recruiting states. And I think you can go in and own the state of Pennsylvania. And that's a little bit easier than owning the state of California. But there's also, both schools recruit nationally, but I think USC, just based on having the more recent national championship success, not talking about more recent success, because obviously Penn State's been a better program for the last, 5 years at least. But just having that prestige of your program, I think might make it a slightly better job. Just because you can recruit nationally at USC, but Penn State being in Pennsylvania really gives it California, or USC at least, a run for its money, just based on the fact that you can completely own that state. There are no other good teams in that state except for the Pittsburgh Panthers this year.
Hey, that's true.
We haven't been too bad.
What is going on in Pittsburgh?
I like it. I like what I've seen, bro.
I think it's
love
a
that win
combination.
against Clemson.
Clemson is just straight dog shit. DJ Ugabuga is not good at football. I watched that game. That was infuriating.
Ugabuga.
Okay, I had Clemson plus 3.5, and then I live bet them plus 9.5, and I wanted to die. Okay, they are so infuriating to watch. I don't know what the hell is going on with Dabo. Paul Feinbaum, the SEC Network guy, went as far as to say that the Clemson dynasty is dead. I don't know if I would go that far.
I agree, because they just have their pipeline of recruiting is just so intense, like so amazing, that I feel like all that's going to take is a guy at quarterback that's not DJ Ugabuga.
Yeah, so that guy, he's
dog ass. He's ass.
bad.
Yes, no, we don't even need to sugarcoat it.
Football. Like,
Yeah, we
he
don't need
fumbles,
sugarcoat
he throws interception. He's a turnover machine. He's like Daniel Jones. He's the college football Daniel Jones.
Yeah, he
And
barely
without-
has a 50% passing completion rate. Probably has more interceptions, I think, than touchdowns at this point in the season. It barely puts up 200 yards a game. Yeah, this is not a Clemson quarterback.
And without Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence, Dabo Swinney's record is really not that great as a head coach. I don't have it in front of me, but I saw a tweet, and it's not like an elite winning record without Deshaun Watson or Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, because like whenever they had Kelly Bryant at quarterback, he was good, but not good enough. You know what I mean? To really be like a national championship quarterback.
I have objections to those kind of stats because it's kind of like that classic Reddit post about Patrick Mahomes. It's like, really, if you take away all his big plays and all his really good plays, he regresses to the mean. And it's like, well, he still did that. Like, yeah, he hasn't been as great without the two of some of the greatest college quarterbacks of all time. No shit, it's not as good. But
yeah,
I mean, he had a couple. Who was that guy? Taj Boyd.
Yeah,
Taj Boyd.
Clemson wasn't too bad without him. He's still with the college football playoff with Kelly. And I mean, they're in a little bit of a rough patch. I mean, off years happen for any team in any sport. And I think this is just one of those off years. I think they definitely need to replace DJ Uiagalelei because true freshmen have definitely shown that they can step in and ball out anywhere they go.
Yeah, I think we give coaches like Dabo a higher standard, certainly, than pretty much every other coach in the country. Because like Ohio State, Clemson, Alabama, it's all really been ruined by the fact that Nick Saban doesn't lose more than like one game a year.
Yeah, it just doesn't
on like a down year.
And Dabo gets that credit too because he built that program. You think Ryan Day didn't build Ohio State? Nick Saban didn't build Alabama. You know, think about any other of the Blue Bloods. Like Lincoln Riley didn't build OU. Like Dabo Swinney
100%.
made Clemson. So that's why he gets that benefit of the doubt.
And Clemson does have a little bit of history, but nothing compared to those programs you just mentioned. So yes, I would give Dabo all the credit in the world. But
yeah,
I'm realizing we've been going on for almost 10 minutes, and that was just one hot take. So I could just tell, bro. If we were doing, I bet if like Elijah, me, you, Noah, and Jack were all together on a podcast, bro, we could probably talk for like 7 hours straight. We'd
be making JD wait.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Let's stick on football, but I'm going to switch it up to NFL.
All right, go for it.
My hot take is that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be just like the Seattle Seahawks, and they're never going to return to the Super Bowl again.
I disagree with that. I really do. Part of me really thinks, I almost wrote this as my hot take. I almost had one of these as mine, but I think Kansas City has a chance of completely bouncing back, and we're going to forget about these first 7 weeks. Like, I feel like they could just start doing Chiefs shit again. Patrick Mahomes is going to start doing Mahomes magic shit without throwing a league-high interception, you know. But I'm not confident in saying that, but I do think it is entirely possible that the Chiefs just prove everybody wrong after all this bullshit in the first few weeks.
I mean, it's entirely possible that an asteroid hits the Earth tomorrow.
Okay, fuck you.
Are we all going to be alive on Sunday? Kyle Shanahan? Like,
oh my God, dude.
I'm in favor of execution, Brian Kelly. Look, the Chiefs are probably beyond repair this year because of the defense. How are you going to fix that defense over the course of the season? That's my real question. Because this defense is easily, I say easily, the Seahawks have been playing a little bit better as late, but I think the Chiefs are easily the worst defense in the league. And obviously everyone's saying that. But the fact that Patrick Mahomes has kind of regressed to being this loose quarterback, he's got to get back to the basics. He's got to get, he's got to get back to be Aaron Rodgers, be Tom Brady, take what's available. You can't just make, cross-body 60-yard throws downfield and constantly hit Kelsey over the middle. Also, 10 viewers.
Shot time.
Okay.
I'm going with vodka this time because fuck it.
You're,
Yeah,
you're
why
a
not?
brave man.
Yeah, it's nice
If I-
vodka. You know, I
if
got
I
a little
take-
Grey Goose.
Here's
If I
a
take shots, I
here's a
go only tequila.
here's a hot take. I don't understand vodka at all. Like
It's
I
a
don't
mixed drink in that
understand.
only. If
why
anyone
is-
likes
bro,
to
see,
take shots
like
of
it-
vodka, you're fucking.
Here's my
insane.
thing, okay? I don't like to take shots of vodka at all, but the only liquor I had in my household was Fireball, tequila, and vodka. And so
gotta
Fireball's
go with
obviously the
tequila.
first go-to for shots. And then personally, I prefer vodka over tequila. I had a very near-death experience on tequila, so that's
I-
starting.
Here's my take on vodka. Mazel tov. Here's my take on vodka. I've never once thought in my life, you know what would make this drink taste a lot better is if it tasted like 10% more like rubbing alcohol.
Yeah,
Oh shit, we just hit 10 viewers again, bro.
you're kidding.
No, we're not going back to back. We're gonna give it a second.
Yeah,
Give me
there's
give
gotta
me
be
like
a
2
time
minutes.
threshold there.
Yeah, we'll give a time threshold too.
But back to the Chiefs. The reasoning for my hot take on this is that Tom Brady has ruined the viewpoint of how we view teams in winning Super Bowls. Because before, one team would win the Super Bowl and then to be a new guy, dynasties come very few and far between. Tom Brady winning 7 makes us think that every young hotshot quarterback winning a Super Bowl is gonna fucking win another Super Bowl the year after he wins his first one. Like it happened with Russ, right? Russ won the first one. You're like, many more with this defense. What happened? They went back the next year. They lost because of the pick of Malcolm Butler, and they never went back again. Think about, Dan Marino. Dan Marino went to a Super Bowl his second year, arguably one of the great, Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks, because if you look at his stats in the era that he was in, he's on the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks. But he never went to another Super Bowl again because they couldn't get the team around him. Like, it's fucking hard to win a Super Bowl. And I think people really discount that when they look at the Chiefs and they're taking for granted how good they're taking too much into account how good he is and not how good the team can be.
But I think when you compare them to the Seahawks, right?
Right.
Russ kind of leaned on that defense. I mean, the Legion of Boom is the Legion of Boom for a reason. And those guys were a really, really special defense. With Kansas City, I mean, if you get that defense sewed up a little bit, the offense is not going to have nearly as much pressure on it as they are, which is, I think, why Patrick Mahomes is pressing, because he has hanging over his head, hey, I got to go make a play right now. But the other problem with the Chiefs is they can't run the ball. If they get a running back in there, if they fix their O-line, everyone thought they fixed their O-line because they got Orlando Brown, Joe Tooney in there, and then they're starting 3 rookies on the other side, and it hasn't looked good at all. If they can get back to their running game and start running the ball efficiently, you have to make opponents believe that you can at least try to run the ball, right? You can't just drop back and throw every time, and the Chiefs love to get cute like that, and I think they've gotten away from some of the most basic, boring aspects of football, which is like running the ball, throwing slant, throwing drags, putting the ball in Tyreek Hill's hands as soon as he crosses the line of scrimmage, and instead of waiting until he gets 40 yards down the field.
Yeah, we've kind of talked like a little bit about the Chiefs in the sense that they have a really bad habit of relying on their late game magic, because last year, and I guess even a couple times this year, but they have a habit of first half, slow start, sluggish. They're down by 3 in a game that they should be winning. And then second half, they come out and they play like the Chiefs and they pull it out of their ass in the fourth quarter. They can't rely on that. And I think teams are starting to figure it out to an extent.
Yeah, they definitely have this year. And their defense is worse than last year. And they haven't fixed their own line, which is arguably worse than last year because the Titans had 7.5 sacks.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers gave the playbook on how to beat the Chiefs. It's play Tampa 2, don't let anything go over the top, and stop them in the red zone once all that stuff compresses. And you have to have the guys to be physical with Kelsey, because that is the thing that will absolutely kill the Chiefs. If they can get 6 yards, 8 yards to Kelsey over the middle as almost a check down, not even their first option, they're going to be able to move the ball. But if you can be physical with Kelsey, if you can drive him off of his line, if you can be sticky in coverage with him, if you've got the guys to do that, you can beat the Chiefs as long as you don't let Tyreek Hill get over the top on you, because Byron Pringle and Demarcus Robinson and Mecole Hardman are not going to be the guys that are going to kill you game in, game out.
I nearly forgot about Byron Pringle, bro. What a guy. What a winner.
He had a big catch last week, too.
You got that's enough about the Chiefs. You got any other NFL hot takes for us, Noah?
The Titans are being slept on. The Titans are absolutely being slept on.
Still at 5-2, really.
Yes. If you watched national media the other day, you might have no clue that the Titans even exist, coming off of beating the Bills and the Chiefs. Right. And it's not the attention that gets me going. The Titans never get any attention. It's the fact that this team is an afterthought. They're more like, it's on Monday. It was, well, what's wrong with the Chiefs? Credit to the Titans, but what's wrong with the Chiefs?
No, you're right about that. Every single story after that game was about the negatives of the Chiefs, not about the positives of the Titans. You're 100% right. Yeah.
Well, and it should be about the negatives of the Chiefs, right? We're in the take business. That's the more hot takey sort of story. That's the more palatable story than are the Titans, legitimate AFC contenders. And I think they get written off a lot for that game against the Jets. There was a lot of stuff in that game where the offensive line wasn't figuring anything out. We had several guys hurt. We were missing AJ Brown and Julio Jones. And I think you can really forgive the Titans for that loss. But the past 2 weeks have made me a full believer in this team, and they're sitting tied for the top of the AFC, and no one's really talking about it.
Yeah, AJ Brown, like you mentioned, has just come alive in these past couple weeks, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Finally.
Getting healthy, playing through bouts of diarrhea.
Wait, what? I didn't hear about that.
You didn't hear about this?
Yeah,
no, what the fuck?
No. AJ Brown had food poisoning for the 2 days before the Bills game, and was basically shitting himself on the sideline, and then had food poisoning all week, and then came out and had that game against the Chiefs. Absolutely electric from AJ Brown. There were multiple comments about he ate some Chipotle. He said Chipotle even reached out to him to try to fix the problem, and he was like, no, like I'll never eat food again in my life.
Oh my God, that's so funny, bro. Especially because like you hear from guys, I don't know if you've heard like Chad Ochocinco, how he praises McDonald's, and he says that every athlete should eat McDonald's, and he ate McDonald's multiple times a week when he was playing. Like that's just the antithesis of it, bro. Like AJ Brown's like, fuck no.
AJ Brown's like, I'm getting a personal chef and I'm never going back.
Okay, wait, we got a hot take commented here. Hot take, the Golden State Warriors are winning the West. That deserves at least a drink. That is a good hot take. I don't know necessarily if I agree. Are you going for the shot, Elijah?
Yeah, this is good tequila, man. I can't let it go to waste.
Oh, fuck, okay. I got to do a shot then, too. All right, we're going back
I haven't
to
drank tequila in a minute, so, fuck it. 50 episodes.
I'm
feeling good. I'm honestly caught a little bit of a buzz, not going to lie.
I was about to say, yeah, so have I.
But
I think the Warriors could absolutely win the West.
I think the Warriors are. I don't agree that they'll win the West, but I agree that they're a dark horse and should be more respected. Elijah, did you already take it?
No, I wait.
Okay, cool.
I definitely think they finish in the top 5 of the West. Jordan Poole is balling out this season, and that system and the guys that they've got in it are really, really paying off for them. I think the Warriors could easily finish in the top half of the West. In fact, I'm willing to go as far as to predict that, especially since they get Klay Thompson back sometime in January.
Yeah, no, I like all the points you just brought up. Yeah, it's kind of weird to see the Warriors have gone from like this all-star powerhouse, only like Steph, KD, all these big names, and then other guys that can play basketball. But Now they drafted Wiseman, who has a great future ahead of him. Jordan Poole is a potential breakout candidate this year. Wiseman hurts too. Yeah, we got a comment that says, and they get back Wiseman. Yeah, he's been hurt too. So, I think the Warriors should be talked about more. I agree. I think they will, without a doubt, 100% make the playoffs. They're not going to win the West. I don't see that happening. I do agree with you, Noah, though, that a top 4 prediction, top half, I could see that happening.
They would definitely go back to being likable if they win the West. I will say
the most fun player in the West, though, right now is Anthony Edwards.
He is fun to watch, I will say.
Electric this year, 25 points a game. The Wolves are killing it. Karl Anthony Towns ending up 5th in win shares so far, which is not, it's a small sample size, but to have his name in a group with Embiid and Jokic, who both led the league in win shares last year, that's not to be written off at all. And if D'Lo can return to form, this Wolves team could be a very, very frisky play-in team in the West. If not, a 6th seed.
Yeah, right. I can see that. No, I like that too. Anthony Edwards definitely very entertaining to watch. I would say coming out of the same draft class too on the West, LaMelo Ball's probably, not the West, the East. LaMelo Ball's probably, the West. Yeah. LaMelo Ball's probably the most entertaining player to watch right now. I can't keep my eyes off him. I knew he was going to be better than Lonzo just based off his hype, his preseason, his pro day, all that, yada, yada. But holy shit, LaMelo is balling out. He is killing it. He has done nothing wrong as a rookie. Now he's a sophomore, but I love it. I love everything I'm seeing from him.
Big Baller Brand is back.
100%.
Did y'all see that? They're getting they came out with new shoes. They're like $600.
Cop.
You could get some YSL.
Cop.
You could get some YSLs for that price, but you could also go for the Triple B shoes with flames on them. I think those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dude, the Big Baller Brand was such a big money grab, but it's still such a big meme that I love it. We were talking about LeVar Ball just a couple episodes ago, how he had that I told you so hat whenever LaMelo got drafted.
Yeah.
Fucking classic. All right, here I got one more. I haven't gotten to spout any of my hot takes yet, so I don't know which one I'm going to choose. But you know what? This seems to be the hottest of my hot takes, so I'm going to go ahead and say that the Detroit Lions will finish above the Chicago Bears in the NFC North.
I love this hot take. This is a little spicy, but I think it's true. The Lions got a lot of fight in them. I got Lions money line this weekend. Easy.
Yeah, I got the spread.
And on top of that, one of my hot takes that I have written down is there's a reason why Justin Fields fell on draft day. It's because he's dog shit. Okay.
We'll see.
He's not good.
I don't know about that.
He's going to be a bust. He's a bust. I'm calling it now. They're going to hate on me, but he's a bust.
I do agree with you that it happens a lot of times when we see these quote-unquote stacked quarterback classes. One of the guys ends up not really being the guy, if not more.
Out of 5 guys, one of them's not going to work out 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the other part of that is, at some point we have to go and start comparing draft classes again. And I think there's a legitimate case that the 2019 draft class is going to end up being better than the 2020 draft class, despite the fact that everyone was heralding this class as one of the best in years. I mean,
who was the 19 class? Just name one guy from it.
Class. Oh, wait. I lied. That would be the 20 class.
2020 class?
I got it.
Okay, got you then.
Better than the 2021 class.
Right.
I don't think the book is written on Tua yet. I think he just needs a change of scenery and an offense that actually lets him stretch the field and make decisions.
100% agree.
Joe Burrow is going to be a great quarterback. I wrote about the Bengals in my column. Yeah, I know that makes you excited, Ryan. And just to add on to that, Justin Herbert's obviously a star. So if you had to compare those 3 top guys from that class to the guys in this class, I mean, we saw guys obviously in last year's class, and I think this was an aberration more so than the norm. We saw two guys in that last class really show out before Joe Burrow got hurt, and I think Tua is on the right trajectory if he can figure his situation out. But in the 2021 class, these guys have sucked so far. I mean,
Mac Jones has been okay.
Mac Jones, he's been better over the last 2 games. That was also against Dallas, who loves to just give up yards. They're addicted to it. And then against the Jets, which is barely an NFL football team at this point, and Zach Wilson got hurt at some point in that game. And they have the O-line to be able to protect him, which really, really helps because you look around the other guys in this situation. I mean, Trey Lance, they've got an O-line there. But he's the most raw prospect out of the group. He took by far the least college snaps. But the Bears have a terrible offensive line. The Jets have an awful, awful offensive line. And the Jags are just the Jags, and that's never going to work until Urban's out the door. You look at Mac Jones may be able to have success, but he's also kind of been checked down, Charlie, with the
That's also kind of the Patriots, though. I mean, that's just what he got drafted into. They're going to do a lot of checkdowns until he gets more comfortable, I feel like.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But I'd like to see a little bit more before I start labeling him like a really, really great player.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
The rookie of the year this year is Jamar Chase. I don't even think
100%.
any of the quarterbacks are in
100%.
consideration.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
100%. Which is just gorgeous. All right, though, we didn't really get to talk about all of them per se, but I'm just going to read off the rest of my hot takes before we let you go, Noah. So what I had, other than my Lions take, is that I have the Boston Celtics will miss out on the playoffs entirely, and I have Joe Burrow. We already talked about it a little bit, but Joe Burrow is better and will have the better career than Justin Herbert when it's all said and done. And I had in parentheses, fight me, which we already kind of argued about a little bit. So we won't get into it. And then last but not least, I had any referee that makes a bad taunting call should have their job decided by a public vote on social media.
It'd be no every time.
Exactly. Fuck them. Just don't make a bad taunting call.
We got one that we didn't get to get into, and that was Zion isn't the future. He's a fat fuck with an injury problem. Sorry.
I think you're wrong. I think Zion's the future.
No, he's not.
Completely disagree.
Zion's never going to be healthy enough, and everyone's going to really, really regret that they didn't take John Morant in that draft.
Nah, I think you guys. I don't know. I think Zion's going to be. Just wait, bro. Just wait.
He's electric. He's electric. He can't stay on the floor, and if he's not going to drop 25 pounds,
he's bulking, bro. He's bulking so he can cut.
It is bulking season. You're right.
Yeah, clearly.
right about that.
I'm bulking myself.
Eat that bowl chili.
All right, though. Anyway, Noah, thank you as always for coming on the podcast. Everybody, be sure go and check out Noah's work he has blogs on our website, GTD Sports. Also, be sure to check out the Blanket Coverage podcast with Noah and Jack. Great content as always. Appreciate you being here, and hopefully we'll talk soon.
Absolutely, boys. Thanks for having me. See you all.
All right. When we come back, we'll be joined by James Danielson, one of the GTD bloggers.
Hey, what's up, catchy little thing you got going on there.
Yeah, I saw you bopping your head too. I do that every single time the music plays. I don't know what it is, but how's it going, James? Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. Good, man. It's 45 degrees, raining and cold up here in Minnesota. Just kind of getting our stuff together for the game tonight. Just looking at some DFS stuff last minute.
So I want to get to DFS in a second, but before we do, we have to address this because you are a diehard Vikings fan and I am a diehard Cowboys fan. And realistically, who do you think is going to win Sunday night?
To be honest with you, I don't know. It could go either way. I think it's going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be a shootout. I don't think there's any chance that Dak misses that game. I think he's going to play.
I agree. Yeah, I think he's got to play.
The media is playing it up like I got to rest him because the game doesn't mean anything.
It's a slow day.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I mean, he's
Nope.
going to play.
No emails have been leaked this week. They got to talk about something,
I know.
So,
Yeah, no, I think it's a good game. I do. I think that our defense has really come around the last couple of weeks. And we knew they were going to be better. Last year, they were a pretty big disappointment as far as a Mike Zimmer defense goes. They've always been,
right.
annually pretty good. I think our defensive line can be scary. I think they're going to get the job done.
And you got Griffin back this year too.
Yeah, he's helped out a lot.
Yeah.
It's fun watching him and Danielle Hunter kind of meet at the quarterback, because I don't know if you guys are familiar with Danielle Hunter a little bit, obviously, but the guy is just a freak of nature. I mean, he's gigantic.
I have a question. You're a Vikings fan, Elijah's a TCU graduate. I'm current TCU student. So do you know Jeff Gladney, obviously y'all's first round draft pick, kicked off the team now after, getting arrested and whatnot.
Right.
What the fuck happened? That's my
I don't
question.
know. It's crazy. Stuff like that happens all the time. For some reason, it seems like we're always on the short end of the stick of that kind of thing.
I will like to say a bunch of my friends smoked a blunt with Jeff Gladney, so I definitely believed it. Like, that's true.
Well, yeah.
I actually sold weed to him too, so yeah.
That's funny.
Good guy. I was actually at the Super Bowl watch party, and Gladney and Turpin just showed up.
Really?
Yeah, if you remember Kevontae Turpin, yeah. And that was
that's badass.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Yeah,
it was like there was just a room full of white guys and two black guys, and they were like, "Hey, that's Turpin." And I went up to him, and I was like, "What's up?" And he was like, "Turp," and I was like, "Kevontae Turpin?" He's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Oh shit." But it was right after he got kicked off the team, and I was like, "Yeah, you're fast."
Yeah, I don't think I know the Vikings definitely got the shit into the stick there, but it seems like TCU draftees, like players from TCU, always seem to get in some sort of legal trouble. I don't know.
You're just a bunch of problem children. That's all.
Oh yeah, of course.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know what we got.
Totally kidding.
I don't know what we got here in the water in Fort Worth, but man, that has actually been a problem. No, but back to the Cowboys-Viking matchup. I agree. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I think this might be somewhat of a trap game for the Cowboys, not so much because they have a big game coming up. I think their next game is the Broncos after this, but the Vikings are fully capable of winning any game that they're in. They're one of those teams where I see them just as a coin flip every week.
And our record doesn't really show it either. It's just crazy. It's like we lost to your Bengals on a fumble by Dalvin in overtime.
Yeah, 100%
and then
could have won that game too.
Missed a field goal to Arizona, who's the only undefeated team left in the NFL. So it's kind of like, and they played that crap against the Browns. But I mean, we're being underlooked, and honestly, as speaking for Vikings fans, we kind of like that. We don't really like to be in the spotlight, so to speak.
Yeah.
Unless people are praising our players, then it's fine. But most of the time, we're getting dogged, especially Kirk Cousins, who I personally really like. I think he's a great quarterback. I look at our record, and I look at what we've done, and if we wouldn't have him right now, we would have a way worse record than what we have right now, because he is really taking the ball in his own hands, obviously, and got the job done. Look at the drive against Carolina on the end of the game 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, he was surgical. It was fun to watch, and I think that he's pretty underappreciated, not only in the NFL fan base, but there's a lot of Vikings fans that really, give him shit week after week after week, and I just don't get it.
There's a reason for that, because I'm a Kirk Cousins hater.
Are you?
I just think
50-50.
Is it because he played for Washington or what?
No, it's because he puts up great numbers year after year. I'm going to give you that. If you look at his numbers, you think, wow, this guy's badass. But if you look at him in his eye test, he really doesn't match it. And he doesn't come up. I mean, what was y'all guys' record after y'all had a fully healthy Kirk Cousins all year?
Yeah, we didn't make the playoffs last year.
Yeah, 6-10, right?
6. Yeah, that sounds about right.
So if you look at the elite quarterbacks, which is how he's paid and how he thinks himself as he is, he's really not. Russell Wilson has taken worse teams and gone 10 wins, 11 wins, right? you know,
True.
other of those elite quarterbacks that are in that category that he thinks himself of, that his numbers think that he should be, he doesn't put up those
Right.
put up those wins.
And I look at last year too. Like we were playing our third and fourth string secondary players. They were
Right.
all hurt. So having a bad secondary in the NFL is not great. Look at the Chiefs right now. I mean, they're getting slaughtered.
Their whole defense is just bad.
Yeah, it is. It really is, and it's unbelievable. Nobody saw that coming at all. But people are finding a way to make it work, and I think partially with that is I really think that the NFL is figuring out Patrick Mahomes. And
That's what we were kind of just talking about with Noah a little bit. Yeah, I agree.
I think they're starting to figure it out, and he's not a pocket passer, and obviously he's going to scramble and make awesome plays. It's what he does. But after a while, people start to figure that kind of stuff out.
I think my thing with last thing before we go on, just my thing with Kirk Cousins. I am a little bit impartial about him. I agree that yes, Kirk Cousins is 100% capable of leading those game-winning drives. He's capable of making the throws that need to be made by a starting quarterback in the NFL. But there are times where I wouldn't trust him per se in a playoff game down by 7. You know what I mean? Like it's just he's kind of like slightly above average in my opinion.
Sure.
And he does have his moments where he shines 100%. Yes.
Yeah.
And part of that is just because, the Vikings, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, but then who else,
Well, KJ Osborne's really stepped up to the plate this year.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
I think we finally have that third receiver that we've been looking for I don't know how many years. It's always been 1 and 2, and then who. But I think that what's fun about Osborne too is that him and Jefferson were traded, the same year last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of fun to see him kind of progressing in his second year in the NFL and really taking the bull by the horns. And he's been solid. He's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Okay, so from reading your blogs, you could tell that you're a big daily fantasy guy. I've dipped my toe in the waters before, but fill us in on the really good daily fantasy strategy to take, and what do you think about when going into a Sunday or Thursday night game?
Yeah, so it really depends on what kind of game you're looking to play. I really like the Captain's Challenge. That's where you pick one captain, so to speak, and they get times 1.5 points when they score.
Okay, yeah.
And so it kind of depends on the matchup. I really so let's just take tonight, for example.
Yeah, let's do it.
I love Aaron Jones. He's my captain tonight. They don't have their top 2 receivers. MVS is not being activated off the IR, so there's 3 receivers that are down today. Aaron Rodgers is going to have to throw the ball if they're going to keep up with Arizona, and vice versa. That goes for Arizona as well. Aaron Rodgers is going to make something happen. It's what he does. He's too good. It's too good to not happen. I mean, it's just what 12 does.
Right.
And if you look at Aaron Jones and what he's done so far this year already, I mean, the guy is averaging 5 targets a game, and you're going to lose Devontae tonight. So he's about 10 targets per game. And how are they going to distribute that? Well, it's going to be Aaron Jones. He's going to be the wide receiver 1 and the running back 1 tonight. So if you put that as your captain, he's going to get the most points because he's going to get catches, he's going to get the rushing yards, and he's going to get the passing or the receiving yards after the catch. So you want the player you think is going to score the most points as your captain. My opinion. Now, there are other strategies to that, but in my mind, that makes the most sense because why wouldn't you want it to be that way?
Yeah. And
So
I can
then
see Jones going off for 30 tonight.
Oh, yeah, it could happen. And I honestly think that, DeAndre Hopkins is another option to put in there tonight. He's going up against, the last 2 matchups for the Packers secondary. They've given up over 125 yards receiving and a touchdown to the opposing team's number 1 receiver. That'd be Jamar Chase and Terry McLaurin. So there is a chance for Hopkins to go off tonight. So he would be another viable option to throw in your showdown matchup as your captain.
With DFS, I feel like because I try and do some of the DraftKings challenges every now and then, and I feel like I always go into it and I set my lineup and I'm like, this is a winner. Like this is it. This is
Right.
the
You
best
feel
lineup.
great about it.
Feel great
Every
about
time.
it.
Every time I feel so good, and then it just gets like 300th out of 400, and I'm like,
Oh, I
God
know.
damn it, bro.
It happens sometimes. It does. You could think you got the best matchup, and then, Robert Tonyan gets 3 touchdowns and 65 yards receiving, and you had, MVS or Devontae or Aaron Jones and whoever else, and they didn't do anything. It's just that's the way football works, though, too.
Yeah.
So the thing is the probability, and you have to really look at, target market share and who is getting these targets on a weekly basis and who is most likely going to get those targets again, week after week after week. Obviously, Devontae Adams is always a safe bet. I mean, he's arguably the best receiver in the game.
Yeah, I think so.
And it just keeps going and going and going down that line with your teams. So showdown is kind of like that. You pick your best player you think's going to get the most points, throw him in your captain spot because he's going to get more points than normal because it's multiplied by a time and a half. And then you pick your 5 other players, and then you're on a budget. That's the big thing. You got to realize you're on a budget. You can't just pick 6 players because then everybody would pick the same 6 players. So everybody has a budget, and you got to remember, too, that your captain is more expensive than the rest of your team. So let's say you wanted to have Aaron Rodgers as your captain today. Well, he is, I haven't looked at it, but I think he's 8,000 or something, probably 10,000 as your captain. Well, then you go down. Well, so you're already burning 10,000 of what you have. And then you go down to the next person. Well, Aaron Jones is cheaper. Hopkins is cheaper, and then so on and so forth. If you use a cheaper one like Aaron Jones or Hopkins in your showdown captain, then you have more money to put in your other slots so you can spend up on a quarterback or another running back or another wide receiver. And then when you get down to your bottom 2, you throw in somebody like, maybe the defense is really killing it. Like Arizona's is the number 1 fantasy defense right now. I think they have, I put it in my blog. I don't remember the stats right off the top of my head, but they're the number 1 defense right now in fantasy football. And so they would be actually a good pick as your last player because they're going to be the cheapest option.
Yeah, and I've seen a bunch of people, when I've done it, just throw in like kickers in there because they can get it easy, like 11 points sometimes.
They can, or they can fuck you in the ass too.
That's true. And then just curious,
Definitely.
how much money have you made off Daily Fantasy?
This year, I'm actually even right now. Last year,
Off DFS?
Yeah, I broke even so
bad.
far.
That's
But I
actually good, honestly.
play a lot. So I don't just do one matchup. So like tonight I have the showdown, but I have 3 different lineups in 3 different games. So like there's one that's a $3 entry or a $10 entry or a $20 entry. And so, I might not have the same lineup in all of those, but if I don't, so let's say I have a good lineup for the $10 entry and it sucks, okay, and I don't win any money, but I get like second or third in that $1 entry or $3 entry, well, I made all that money back because I made all that money from winning that. And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it kind of, you can balance it a little bit. And, actually, to be honest with you, you can get really crazy and play the quarter games and put like 25 lineups in there and still break even or make money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is so much. Doing like 20 plus lineups would be insane for DFS.
It is. So that's kind of like, for example, so not just showdown where you pick a captain, but a regular DFS lineup where you use the entire main slate of games and you pick your lineup. So let's say you made your lineup, you would want to use that lineup and enter it in every single game that you wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could do another lineup and then add that one in there 5 more times, so on and so forth. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, I get that. Back to like what you were saying with like the whole choosing a captain and whatnot, because I do enjoy those showdown where like the captain has the 1.5 times points. Those are one of my favorite to do. And so I always kind of am battling with myself, going back and forth between, do I want to choose who I think is going to get the most points as my captain? Because like you said, Aaron Rodgers is going to be more expensive. Guys like Devontae Adams, if he was healthy, would be more expensive. Or would I want to put my captain as the low tier guy that I think is going to break out? You know what I mean? To maximize that budget. It's always like a dilemma back and forth.
Yeah, it can be. Absolutely. And that's where you really have to pay attention to your money, and picking your captain is big because obviously it could make or break your bank. Well, if you pick a captain that's $12,000 on DraftKings, well, shoot. I mean, you're only going to have $38,000 left to work with the rest of your team. And so your bottom two players are probably going to be wide receivers that see 8 snaps, and you pray that they catch the ball twice and, break off for 50 yards.
Yeah, exactly.
So it gets tough. And if you're just getting into it, I suggest playing the low dollar games to just get your feet wet and see how it kind of works. The other thing too, you want, obviously you're going to want players that are going to score points, but then you have to realize like the percentage of field played. So the people you're going against, the odds are really good that you're going to have 1,000 other people have that same person as their captain and then have a decent amount of the same roster as yourself. And that's why when I do my Sunday blog, I always have dart throws in there. Players that could go off that aren't going to be rostered on everybody's DraftKings lineup. So like a good option last week would have been Dante Pettis. Nobody had him on their team.
And I mean, those are what wins those are what win you money. Those are what gets you the top placements and everything.
Because you might have the same lineup as everybody else, but shoot, only 10% of the field had Dante Pettis. So you're automatically up higher on the winning total.
Yeah, exactly.
So it gets interesting, and you really got to kind of hone in and read up on it a little bit and just test the waters.
It is interesting because I never really got into DFS per se until I was actually 18 and able to put money into my account and whatnot. Sure. So it has been a bit of a learning curve because it is completely different, than just your average everyday fantasy.
Right. Absolutely.
But let's move on though from DFS and get into some Thursday night football predictions. Packers Cardinals tonight. Cardinals are -6.5 point favorites in the eyes of Vegas. Aaron Rodgers in prime time though is never an easy task. I don't care if you're undefeated or what. It's Aaron Rodgers. So just overall, what are you thinking for this game? I know you made some predictions in your blog today. Yeah. So what's your thought process and what's your final prediction?
I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. It's going to be a lot of points, I think. Like I said, it's going to be a battle between Kyler Murray and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is going to have to pull a rabbit out of his hat because he's down, Devontae, MVS, Allen Lazard.
Yeah, all of his guys.
It's kind of a mess. But, Aaron Rodgers is going to do Aaron Rodgers, and he's going to make some stuff happen. And there's no way that boy
Randall Cobb.
Yeah, see, so tonight he is my dart throw. I think Cobb could have a fantastic game. He's got the best rapport with Aaron Rodgers. He's got history with him. They know where they're going to be on the breaks. Aaron is going to be able to time his throws right with him. I think he's in for a good night.
I'm gonna have to stop you right there, though. We have some hot takes.
Yeah.
I think that we need to take some shots, Ryan.
Oh God, yeah, we
got
three
right in
the room. We got
Will.
You got it, Elijah.
He said Braves are winning the next 3 and taking the ship. Yankees snagging Seager as the SS in the offseason shots. I'll take one for the Yankees snagging Caesar because that could honestly happen.
Oh wait, hold on.
Yankees always pull some shit out of their ass.
Hold on, fuck, dude. I'm kind of drunk, bro. Fuck.
That was kind of the point.
I was going to say
that was the point.
At least you have a party to go to after this. I'm just sit in my house
I'm doing
and
like
watch
half a
Thursday
shot
Night
this
Football.
time. I'm a pussy. I'm doing half a shot. Fuck you guys. Wait. Oh, whatever.
Here, I'll take a second one.
Woo! Elijah's a brave man. All right, these guys are trying to fuck us now with the hot takes. We got
Hot take. Aaron
multiple
Rodgers scores.
hot
less
take.
points.
Astros are still cheating. I love that one. Hot take. Aaron Rodgers scores less points tonight than Week 1. Bro,
That is a hot take.
that's a burning, boiling hot take. Holy shit.
That son
I
of a
know that
bitch
guy?
is in the flames. Who was that from?
I know that guy, and he has Rodgers on his fantasy team, so he really just wants me to drink.
Oh yeah.
I
That's
need to
funny.
recover after that though.
You're fine. You have somewhere to be after this. I'm just gonna sit on my ass and watch Thursday Night Football. Be
Yeah, I
happy
know.
that you're not graduated. Okay.
Yeah, I got
All right.
a Waka Flocka Flame concert to go to after this.
Seriously?
Yeah. Super random, but yeah, it's our Halloween party.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool. I'm not much into the Waka Flocka, but
Honestly,
Just
me
go hard
neither,
to think.
but
hard to
it'll be
think.
an event. It'll be a thing. Whew.
are you
Okay,
drinking
alright.
vodka or tequila?
I'm drinking tequila.
That's disgusting, dude.
You're disgusting.
No, see, and the thing is, I like it,
Dude, I gotta
but
pee
it
so
doesn't
bad.
like me.
Oh, we get along
I
real
gotta
well.
pee.
Yeah, I don't get along with it. I wish I did, but I don't.
I've got like a touch Guatemalan in me from like
Oh, really?
generations ago. I think. I don't know. Me and my mom just think so. So I'm gonna say.
Good for you. That's funny.
We just get tanned really well. I don't know. But we have thought that because her maiden name traces back to Guatemala, but that's neither here nor there. But back to sports.
We're talking Thursday Night Football.
Okay, so we've covered that. You like Packers plus 6.5
No, I like the Cardinals by 3.
by 3? Well, I'm talking about Packers spread.
Oh, yeah, I would say that's fair.
Yeah. I want to talk about other just fantasy in general. So,
Sure.
who are your biggest fantasy surprises of the season?
Surprises?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm not going to say surprise, but I do love what I see out of Cooper Kupp. And, you know, I guess it's kind of a surprise. He's always been good. Like, he had a really good season a couple years ago, and then he got hurt.
Right.
And then it kind of transitioned over to Robert Woods doing his thing. And now Robert Woods is kind of getting the short end of the stick out of the two. He's creeping back up. He's had better games the last couple weeks, but it's nowhere on the level of what Cooper Kupp is doing.
Right.
Like, Cooper Kupp is the number 1 fantasy wide receiver overall right now and the number 1 overall fantasy player, period, in PPR.
No, I love that, and I drafted him in the 4th round in my personal league this year, and I'm
I had him too, and it's been fantastic.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, and so we play full PPR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah, that's our favorite way to do it. We do full PPR, so, and it's a super flex. So we do 2 quarterbacks and 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, 2 flexes, and then an IDP.
Before you go any further, we do have 11 viewers. Somebody commented, so
Bro, I don't know. We just took one, bro. Fuck. I'm switching to vodka. Fuck you. I'm doing another half shot just because I've already gone pee like twice in the last 30 minutes, bro. This liquor's starting to flow through me.
You broke that seal.
Yeah, exactly. I broke the seal.
No, and I don't see a scenario either where Kupp slows down. I'm not gonna lie to you. What he's got going on with Matthew Stafford is pretty special, and you know that must be some pretty damn good breakfast that they're having every morning.
No shit, right?
It's pretty crazy.
Another one that I have is Deebo Samuel.
He's a man. He's fantastic.
On the flip side of that, another surprise is Brandon Ayuk doing absolutely nothing.
I had Ayuk as one of my breakout guys, honestly. Like
You
in the
and
preseason,
a lot
I
of
really
other
liked
people.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon Ayuk is pretty much what it is now. Yeah, he's been terrible. No, Debo's been great. He's the number 6 wide receiver overall right now, which is awesome. He's a 20 overall player. He's averaging 21.8 points per game. That's insane. You know.
Yeah.
And Ayuk, I don't know what the hell is going on.
Debo's got more average fantasy points than Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. It's nuts. And I think Ayuk could come around. I think actually it's not going to be long before you see Trey Lance. And I think he just brings more to the table. Not that Jimmy G is bad, because he's not. He's a very serviceable quarterback for fantasy. If you have the wide receiver, yeah, absolutely. If you have the wide receivers, he's fine. But Trey Lance just adds another aspect of the game with his legs. And when you can extend the play, guys are going to get open for you. You see it with Patrick Mahomes. You see it with Lamar Jackson. You see it with Kyler Murray. You're going to see it tonight. It's just something that they're able to do, and that's why those wide receivers tend to do better. Now, Lamar has a little bit of a different situation. Most of the time, it's Mark Andrews. But it's kind of what happens, and I think if Trey Lance comes in sooner than later, you're going to see Ayuk kind of wake up a little bit, and I think they're going to figure out how to use him. I'm not sure they really know what they're doing with him right now.
And we got a comment here that says when Trey Lance starts, he'll be the next Jalen Hurts in fantasy.
So here's my take on Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a fantastic fantasy football quarterback. He is a dog shit real life quarterback.
Oh, 100% agree. He's never...
I said that at the beginning of the season, did I not, Ryan?
No, you did. Yeah, you did. I thought Jalen Hurts would be great for fantasy. I thought he would be a little bit better, maybe he would come into his own. But I agree with what you just said, JD. They're never going to win anything with him.
No, and that's why they're talking about bringing Gardner Minshew in. So I think that might actually happen sooner than later.
That would be electric, baby.
It'd be crazy. Minshew Mania in Philly.
Minchadolphia?
Yeah, right? You better keep that one to yourself. I'm not sure.
I know. That might blow us up.
Minchadelphia. All right, before we let you go, James, we got to get our best bets. What is your pick for tonight, Thursday Night Football? We already mentioned the spread is Cardinals -6.5. And actually, I forgot the over-under.
Oh, we were talking about this in the bathroom. James has...
I got the Cardinals by 3. I'm going to go 30-27.
30-20. Oh, yeah. That was in your blog, too. Yeah, so... For a full list of prediction, be sure, guys, to go and check that out on our website, JD's blog. Great stuff. But so 30-27, I could see that happening as well. I have this. Honestly, I think even without the Packers wide receivers, I think they're going to pull it out and give the Cardinals their first loss.
They might.
I'm going to put this one at 31-28 Packers. Really right in the same range as your score prediction, because I think it will be pretty high scoring too.
Oh, it should be. Aaron Jones might have 4 touchdowns too. You never know.
Exactly.
My Thursday Night Football parlay again for the third week in a row. I got Bob Tonyan over 42.5 receiving yards. Aaron Jones over 15.5 carries. Rondale Moore anytime touchdown scorer. You might want to place that just one and in of its own. It's plus 300. It's juicy.
The Rondale Moore one is spicy. I like it.
Spicy. And then to top it all off, Packers plus 6.5 with plus 1,271 odds.
Woo!
The parlay.
It's a juicy little parlay,
baby.
I like it.
That is juicy. Oh, God, now we got a basketball hot take. James Harden won't be good again following the rule changes. Yeah, we kind of talked about that a little bit on our last episode. Yeah, but we won't get into basketball anyway. But, James, thank you so much for joining the podcast. It was great to have you on here for the first time, and I'm sure we will be speaking with you again on the podcast soon. So for all the listeners, be sure and go and check out all of JD's blogs on our website, gtdsports.com. Great content, and follow him over on Twitter. You can see there he has it at snag1025. Actually, before we let you go, where did that snag username come from?
That's an old childhood story. It stuck with me. Actually, it's
fucking Midwesterners. I love you.
Hey, man, yeah. It is. So one of the biggest fish I ever caught. I was in 5th grade, and I was with my best friend at the time, and we were on his land, and we were fishing, and there was a monster brown trout in a creek, and it was sunbathing, and it was just basking. It wasn't chasing anything we were throwing out there. And so I did something that you should never do while you're fishing, and I tried to snag it, and I did, and I snagged it right up the asshole, and I reeled it in. Yeah. Still the biggest fish I've ever caught as far as the creek goes. and probably should never have done that, but it's okay. And the name kind of stuck with me since. It was actually my 8th grade basketball coach named me that after he heard the story. So just kind of stuck.
That's funny. No, I like it though. Snag, it works. It works. Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. I hope to come back on sometime. It's been a blast.
Yeah, thanks
definitely.
for coming on. Definitely appreciate all the work that you do for GTD with your blogs and stuff.
Yeah, not a problem. I enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, 100%.
So, awesome.
Skull Vikes. Sorry, Elijah.
Hey.
Skull Vikes.
I'll see you on Twitter after the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I am sure there will be some Twitter beef back and forth during the game. All righty, well, we'll talk soon. Thanks for coming on again.
You bet.
All right, so I know Zach is currently waiting right now. I love you, Zach. I see him in the waiting room. But we have just a little bit. We're going to cover nothing major. We got to gloss over it at least a little bit because it's a major fight card this weekend. We're going to talk about UFC for like 5 minutes-ish, and then we're going to jump in and have Zach. Yeah, quick roundup. So we have back-to-back UFC events coming up in the next 2 weekends. Thank you, Dana White. It has been kind of a long halt since we've had a major card, but we're back for UFC 267 this weekend, night before Halloween. We got Jan Blachowicz taking on Glover Teixeira, which is, if you know, Blachowicz just beat Israel Adesanya, handed him his first loss in their last bout, but of course that was in the light heavyweight division where Blachowicz reigned supreme. So that should be a good fight. I think Blachowicz is easily going to take that over. Next up, we have the number 1 contender, Peter Yan, against the number 3 contender, Corey Sandhagen. That should be electric as well.
That's going to be a good fight. And
yeah.
But one thing, I'm going to take a shot real quick for the James Harden comment because I'm just going to give love to reviewers, and this is how I spread it. So
I'll just chug a lot of my beer. Those shots are getting to me, bro. They're getting to me.
You got to drink tequila.
I told you before we started, bro. I'm a pussy when it comes to shots.
That's tough.
All right, and then last up of the big fights on that, we have one of my personal favorite fighters right now, Islam Makhachev, who is just a beast, going against Dan Hooker, who's looking to climb his way back into the title conversation. So should be an electric card this weekend, but nothing will compare to UFC 268. Elijah, have you seen this card yet?
Have I seen this card? Yes, I've seen this card.
Bro, this
Usman
card
is fighting in this.
It's fucking ridiculous, bro.
Usman, we got Thug Rose. We already know how much I love Thug Rose.
Dude,
and then to top it all off, we got Gaethje fighting against Michael Chandler.
Oh my god,
which should be a fucking headliner in and of its own.
Dude, so I can't even process like how you're right. Gaethje Chandler could be the main event on any other fight card. Just watching this card, looking at these fights, shit makes me want to cry, bro. It's so beautiful. Like I cannot wait to watch these fights go down.
And I'm gonna say it right now. In terms of dominance and how good a fighter is, Usman is my favorite fighter to watch.
Oh,
forget Stylebender, forget McGregor. Forget fucking, well, maybe not Ngannou. You know how I love Ngannou.
You got Ngannou.
But Usman is like, he is must-watch TV. He is so fucking good. He is just that much better than anyone else. Carl Usman is. So, yes. But I would bet on him, but he's like minus 260 or 250 or something. So
he's always like that, yeah.
So not worth it. Thug Rose, she's like plus 110. Or something like that. The odds are low. They're like
because she kind of got lucky against Zhang last time. So
I'm taking Thug Rose though. You know how
I am too. Because
she plays Rose in Harlem when she comes out. I love that song too.
Which is sick.
And then Gaethje versus Chandler. Chandler is interesting. He beat the fuck out of Michael Hooker, and then the second guy
Dan Hooker.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Who was the other guy that he faced?
I'm trying to remember. Fuck.
He got his ass beat.
Yeah, he did.
He got a title. It was a title shot.
It was Oliveira, Charles Oliveira.
Oh yeah, Oliveira kicked his ass. So I'd probably go
Oliveira
Gaethje.
got the belt.
Gaethje's unreal, and then he just got put in a coffin by Khabib, because that's what people do against Khabib. But going back to this fight, this is pretty like, this isn't like a casual UFC fighter's dream, but for people who follow UFC, this is a stat card.
Yes, 100%.
You know,
I mean,
this
even
is a real UFC fans fight night. You know what I mean?
it's like top to bottom. I mean, you got names like Shane Burgos as well, Marlon Vera, who's like probably a Hall of Famer in the UFC. And then even in the prelims, you have names like Al Iaquinta is fighting, and who's a long-term UFC fighter. Everybody knows who that guy is if you're a UFC fan. So this is, like you said, this is a UFC card.
Peter Yan is fighting who should be the champion right now, but who is the guy that he kneed in the head? I'm
Aljamain Sterling. I love Sterling, but he did not deserve that title.
He did not win that fight. And then, because we were all watching that fight, and he goes, should I knee him in the face? His team goes, yes. He knees him in the face. He gets disqualified. He's clearly winning the fight. He should be the champion. He's fighting tonight. He's probably going to beat Corey Sandhagen. I see a comment right here that Peter Yan gets knocked out, but I don't know if that's supposed to be your hot take, Andy, but no, he's not.
I'll drink
Peter
to
Yan's,
it. I'll drink
Peter
to
Yan's
it.
winning the fight. And then Islam, anytime you have Islam Makhachev versus Dan Hooker, that's going to be a good fight.
That's going to be a really good fight.
Dan Hooker's on the ropes, man. He's lost his past couple of fights. He's definitely past his prime, and he's trying to prove that he can still fight. But
he did. He lost 2 in a row, but then he did just win his last fight against kind of a no-name guy.
I remember that he won on the McGregor night. He won on the McGregor UFC night.
Yeah. So this is really kind of his prove-it fight. And Islam as well. Islam is the next Khabib, if you ask me. I think Islam has a huge future.
I'm going to fade Hooker.
Yeah, I am too. I would go with Islam on this.
I think Islam's going to win this fight.
All righty, we've been holding Zach a bit too long. Last comment too. We got Patty the Baddie, new upcoming fighter. 100%. Patty the Baddie is that dude. I love that.
There's
guy.
levels to it.
There's levels, bro.
There's levels.
Give me account back, you lizards. All right. Anyway, when we come back after a quick 10-second little music, you've probably seen the transition video by now, but we will be joined by Zach Rieger, the host of the Betting on the Rocks podcast, to get to our favorite. I know it's my favorite. I'm sure it's Elijah's favorite part of the podcast, where we go into love it or loathe it and give our best picks of the night. So in just a second, we'll be joined by Zach. All right, Zach, how are we doing?
What's good, guys? Happy to be back. A little nervous though now. I got the pregame on, and I'm seeing the Cardinals in the black unis.
Oh no, the black unis, bro.
I'm a little scared for my Packers bet. Not gonna lie.
No,
also 2 units on the Packers.
I just put a unit and a half on the Packers.
I really just turned it on and started going it, and I just tweeted it out too. I was like, my Packers bet's starting to sweat a little bit. The Cardinals are in the black. I need an update, man. I got bad info. I didn't get any uni updates.
Yeah, kickoff hasn't even happened yet. Already sweating this shit out.
You know, that's what happens.
That's the beauty of betting. No, before we get into anything though, just guys, be sure to check out all of Zach's content on our website. He is the host of the Betting on the Rocks podcast, like I mentioned. Follow him on Twitter at Zach Rieger18. Just had to get that out of the way. All right, let's talk some bets now.
Hold up. Does he have the whiskey on hand?
Is the whiskey on hand?
Boys, I apologize. We
No.
I got to drive after this, man. Something came up,
Fair. Hey, responsibility. Okay,
I'm responsible in everything, man.
Yes,
especially my betting.
I was just about to say, kind of ironic
especially
coming from
my
a sports
betting.
better.
Always responsible.
Yeah, I see. Whenever I tell my friends, I'm like, no, guys, I'm good at sports betting. They're like, oh yeah, sure. Everybody says that. Like, sure you are. I'm like, no, I fucking am. I swear.
Yeah. No, I do that too. And then it's always the worst because then your buddies will tell you on the one day you go 1-3, or
exactly.
That's always how it is. Like, bro, you suck, man. Or what sucks is there was one day I went 6-3 in college football, and my buddy rode the 3 plays that I missed, and he's like, "Dude, you suck." I'm like, "What are you doing? What are you talking
That's
about,
your
man?
fault, bro. That
That's
is
on
your
you."
fault. Yeah,
I
I feel the
Ryan
same
can
way.
attest to this. I'm really, really good at going dead ass even.
Yeah. Hey, with the Taylor fade though, you've been coming up this past
I've
few
been
weeks.
coming up. I started like down 9 units, and now I'm up like 8 after the first 3 weeks. I went 9 and 1
journey.
1 week, so that was.
That's
It's been a
nice.
journey.
I just started fading Ryan a bunch. That's the secret.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
That's
No,
why we're here.
how's the betting season been going, man?
Dude, NFL, we're still figuring out. We're kind of rocking around the 500. NFL is tough, man. Like 2 weekends ago, I was on like mostly all dogs, and that was when like a dog didn't win at all. It was like 2 dogs, I think, won
Really?
that entire Sunday. So that, whatever. But NFL, we're kind of hit or miss. We're around 50. I mean, when you throw in the props, I think I'm probably a little under 50, but we don't have to talk about that.
Those don't count. Those don't count.
Yeah, those don't count. Those are for fun bets.
Yeah.
Those are doubling down on my fancy players.
That's a good way to do it, honestly.
That's very accurate.
It's like I need a roof for this guy. I got to double down on him. But no, college I'm hitting at 54. I was at 60 until I had the worst betting day I have ever had on Saturday. I put out 11 plays. I'm normally around like the 9-10, so 11 was a little bit more, but nothing too out of the blue. I went 2 and fucking 9. It was the worst day I've ever had. I was trying to think of a worse day I could have had. Just absolutely nothing made sense. Like I was on Texas Tech heavy. They were winning the entire game, and K-State comes out and wins.
I saw that. I was following that game simply because
Dude.
I knew you had that pick.
Right.
I saw it on Twitter.
Like I didn't even watch the end of it, but I was just all of a sudden like I went to go check it, and I was like, okay, at least I'll get that one. I'll start the day like 1-2 or something in my like morning slate. But let's see. NC State lost to Miami. That's
I had
crazy.
that as well. I had
Fresno State only won by 2. That's one of those ones I'm not too upset about. Liberty only beat North Texas by 9 after Marshall like dicked them. Like, what was Liberty doing?
The Mean Green is a son of a bitch. Okay.
Like that.
Don't discount North Texas, baby.
They're so bad, bro.
They're so
They're
bad.
fucking terrible.
I won so much
Ditton's-
money on Marshall. It was Marshall minus 11. They won by like 40. It was awesome. Then, like Purdue plus 3.5. Cincy only winning by 7 against Navy. Like,
That was
it was just
bullshit,
like-
bro.
it was just like everything, and I'm like, to go 2 and 9. But luckily, I went 2-0-1 in NFL on Sunday. I lowered the volume a little bit, but which has been nice. So I'm going to kind of stay on that.
Now I can relate a little bit. I'm not sure on Twitter if you've seen, but I have my own like a betting gambling podcast with my my job outside of GTD at Frogs of War at TCU, and so I also had a 2-9 week in like week 2 of college football, and I was like,
Yep.
fuck, bro, I can't do that. This is my credibility on the line. Like, I'm publicizing these picks. I cannot fucking lose. But since then, I have had 6 weekends in a row in the positive of college football. I don't understand how, but I'm fucking NFL, not so much. College football, yes. NFL is just way harder, it feels like.
And I've always been more of an NFL, the college football guy, just know more about the NFL. But the lines are just so sharp in the NFL, and it's like teams want it more, like because they're getting paid.
They fucking know what they're doing.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then with like college, there's so many more like mistakes in the lines just because there's so many games, so many teams. So I've had a lot more success with college, and like I have a theory. I feel like whenever you start somewhere, you start publicizing, you start doing whatever. No matter what, your first couple weeks are going to be just bad. Like that's just. I have never seen someone like start off at like a place, like even like some like the like professionals that are doing it, and all of a sudden they go to a new sports book or new media company, and I've never seen in the first week they just like go off. Like it's always, I don't know what it is, but so it's fine. But you know what? I was doing great. And the fact that I went 2-9 and I'm still hitting at 54% shows how good I have been doing. So you know what? We got the bad weekend out of the way. It was due to happen. You know, we bounced back this Saturday.
Yeah, no. In general, I mean, from what I've seen on your Twitter picks, they've been doing pretty well. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into our love it or loathe it for
Taylor
this.
fade.
God damn it. Why did I say love it or loathe it? It's because I
You're
haven't
drunk, Ryan.
I am drunk and it's written down. Fuck you. I'm changing it right now. Tail or fade. Boom.
Yeah,
Taylor
yeah. I
fade.
heard you guys talk
Darren-
about my hot take a little bit. Cordero, baby.
Oh yeah,
I took a
Cordero
shot
number
for that.
1. Fuck out of here, bro.
Darren, I see your comment. I'm not
What
taking a
happened?
shot for every new viewer, but I'll take a shot for you, Darren.
I'll take a nice.
Elijah's
shot.
gonna be fucking way drunker than me. Shit, dude. I gotta catch up. But
I'm gonna be pissed drunk by the time.
I'm also
third round
trying to
football
like
rolls around.
I'm also trying to like function because I gotta go through this whole bus loading process and Uber to this venue for a concert. I don't
It's
want
a
to be
pregame,
black.
Ryan. It's a pregame. Stop being a
It
pussy.
is, but I
Yeah.
also don't want to black out into walk a
don't
flock of
logistic
flames.
guys
Arms.
a
That's
pregame.
what college is all about, dude.
All right,
That's what
fuck
it's
you.
all
I'll do a
about.
shot. Fuck you.
There you
All
go.
right, fine,
There you go.
Fine.
You're right.
See,
We gotta
you-
get to the pregame. Oh, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do that? You'll figure it out. I trust you.
Soon
now
enough,
let's-
you'll be
let's get
living
into
on your
picks.
own, like me.
Let's get
and
into picks.
Not have
All right.
college, so
We've been,
drink
we've
up.
been bullshitting long enough. Time to let's make some plays. Let's make some fucking money. All right. Let's start with college football. I'm gonna go ahead and say my first pick, and then I'm gonna take my shot. So first up, I got the Pittsburgh Panthers -9 at home against Miami. Miami got lucky last week. They're dog shit. Pittsburgh blows them out by 20 plus.
Tail.
Tail.
There's
Yeah,
no way that
Miami's
Miami
tough.
covers 2 spreads in a row.
Yeah, hate Miami and Pitt. Pitt's nice.
Oh yeah, Ryan, you got this.
Yeah, I got it written. All right. Next up, I have Boston College +6.5 at Syracuse. Yes, Syracuse did get a big win on the road at VT, but every game they've played in has been phenomenally close. And I think 6 points is too big of a spread for BC.
Fade.
Wow. All right.
Good one. Nice. I'll tail that. I haven't bet Boston College the last 2 weeks, which is good because they haven't covered the last 2 weeks. But love Boston College, love what they do. You can never count them out. And in the ACC, I've said it on a lot of other shows too, and I said it on mine. The middle of the ACC, which is now just keeps expanding each week, because even the top of the ACC, like Clemson, we're seeing what's going on there. There's just not a big gap. Like, I think any of those teams can beat any of those teams. So yeah, when you have a spread like 6.5, yeah, give me the dog. Especially when it's Boston College, a team that's always playing tough. So I'll tail.
All right. Yeah, BC does tend to play tough. Exactly. Except for I had them last week too. They couldn't cover. Anyway,
That was
next-
actually one of my 2 wins. Now I'll out myself even more with it being a 2-9. The one of them, I let my girlfriend make a pick, and she picked Louisville, and so that was one of my 2 covers.
Bro, that's what I should start doing. But see, my girlfriend, though, anytime I tell my girlfriend, I'll be like playing blackjack or something, and I'll be like, hey, babe, click the button. Like, do it. Like, you click the bet. Like, this is your hand. She'll just be like, no, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, no, she's so lucky, and we've been dating for a while now. So she says that she's impressed way too many people. Like, she'll be out with like a group of friends, like her friends' boyfriends, and they're all talking, and she's like, "Oh, is that a parlay?" And they'll just look at her, and they're like, "You know what that is?" And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Sadly, but yeah."
Yeah, you got to know. I
Yeah,
mean,
so I haven't done a whole lot with college, but yeah, on NFL, you'll see on my tweets, her name's Hope, so it's a Hope play of the day.
You
And
you
so
guys
it's
got
good.
girlfriends?
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
Fuck, bro. Now you're going to make me feel bad. Shit.
It's all right. Just
That's-
take another shot. You'll be fine,
That's
bro.
frat.
Elijah's living the bachelor life in Austin, bro. You
Yo,
know.
I got a dog.
Oh,
That's all you
what's
need,
up, that's
man.
what's
Way
up.
better.
You
It's
got
all
your
right.
bitch. We all got your
we all got bitches. All right. Anyway, next play on my card, I'm going with Georgia at Florida, and I'm taking the under of 51.
You know what? I'm gonna tail this one. Kind of like this under.
What's the under again?
51.
51.
51. I'll fade. I think both these. I think it's probably gonna be close. I don't have a play on this. on the spread because I really don't know what to do. It's one of those ones I'm looking at. I could see it going either way. But I think if Florida stays close, they have to put up points. And I think if Georgia puts up, 35-40, like Florida just has to get a couple touchdowns. And so I'll fade. I'll go with the over.
All right. We got a couple. Oh no, Elijah tailed that one actually. So alrighty. Yeah, I'm very surprised to see that Georgia is only 14-point favorites against Florida whenever they were like 18-point favorites against Arkansas and 16-point favorites against Kentucky.
Because
21,
Bob Stoops is a motherfucker, and he called a timeout just to cover the spread.
Dude, that shit was awesome though, bro. Because I had Kentucky. That was awesome.
I mean, I didn't have any money on it, but I was pissed for the Taylor fade because it hurt my record.
All right, next up, I'm going to the Big 12. I'm taking West Virginia +7 at home versus Iowa State. Even though the Cyclones got that big top 10 win against Oklahoma State, I don't think they are really a threat. Yes, I think they're going to win this game, but West Virginia showed that they can compete in literally any game they're in.
What's this Kanye song called?
Your love is
All right, so fade.
It's a fade.
Fade.
Wait for the beat to drop, though. Not yet. Damn, this song's long.
We're going to get fucking copyrighted, Elijah. God damn it.
No, it's called commentary. I looked it up because YouTubers do this all the time, so we're okay. So we're bringing commentary to the song? All right, I'm done.
Okay,
Anyway,
so
we're not getting copyrighted though because apparently, because I remember Chip's class, if you provide commentary to a work of art, then therefore they can't copyright it. So what we just did there was commentary.
interesting.
I like that. I'm going to take note of that. Because I've just been, on my show, I've just been talking about the Sad Boy Hours playlist. And I have to break it out a couple times. Especially after the 2-9 day. I said I don't want to be that stereotypical whiskey drinker who only drinks when he's sad, but no, a 2-9 day, that'll get you.
Well, that's what a $250,000 degree from TCU gets you.
All right.
You know that.
And now you just gave it to me, so perfect.
Just expose us real quick, Elijah.
Yeah.
But I mean, with that music, I mean, I guess I have to fade too. Like I can't not after that.
All right.
I was on the fence. This will probably be a no play for me, but yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah, I'll fade after that performance. I can't, I can't switch it up now.
All right, and then last but not least on my college football card, I'm taking Rutgers money line -125 at Illinois. I think the public is going to be sucking the Illini's dick after that Penn State upset. And they're still not good. They're still not a good football team. So give me Rutgers on the road.
Bill Belichick likes Rutgers players.
For some reason.
And I'm going to tail.
All right.
Yeah,
I like
that's a tail for me as well. Love Rutgers. I put them on probation for that performance they put on with Northwestern, but I think that's going to get lifted today as well, or this week as well.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm a little bit scared because that was some bullshit, bro. I thought Rutgers would win.
That was one of those ones I was just watching. I'm like, what is going on? Like, even when they lost to Michigan State, I was on Rutgers +4.5. Bet didn't hit, but I still felt good about Rutgers. You saw them play. They were pulling out all the stops. They remind me of the Detroit Lions. They just pull out all the stops. They play hard. They're a lot better than you'd think. And so, yeah, I like Rutgers a lot. I think this is the week I get back on them, and they're going to get it right because, yeah, Illinois is not very good, and this is a huge letdown spot.
Yeah. All right, that's all I got for my college football picks. Who's up next?
It's me. Okay, so first up, I got Michigan State under 50.5. Classic Big Ten under.
I'm gonna tail that one. This is gonna be a close game. No matter which side comes out on top. It's tough because Michigan is definitely a run first team this year, so I think that'll help chew out the clock a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna tail. Fuck it.
Damn, I didn't realize the under that total is that high. Yeah, that's a big under. Definitely tailing. I thought it was in the
Ryan,
higher
you got
40s.
you
but
got me
perfect.
on the okay bet. Yeah,
Tail.
bet. Tail, 100%. All right, so Cincinnati minus 25.5 at Tulane. They didn't cover at all last week. They need to prove to the college football playoff that they want to get in. They're still not going to no matter what, but they're still trying to prove it against Tulane, who had one good game that they almost won against Oklahoma. But 25.5 points for Cincinnati. Who you got?
Ah, that's tough, bro. That is tough. I'm gonna fade because fuck it. Why not?
Okay.
I love that analysis, but I'm going to disagree. I'm going to tail it to fuck it. Why not?
All right.
Yeah, no, that's been my main reasoning for every Cincy play. I've been like playing them the last like 4 or 5 weeks, where it's just if they want to get into the playoff, they have to destroy these teams, and so that Navy win really hurts them. But I think they'll get back out here and they'll be pissed off, and yeah, they'll cover.
Okay, next up I got CU in Oregon over 49.5.
Oh, that's also really tough because, dude, Colorado has just a ridiculously
Colorado, baby.
What do you guys say? Colorado?
Colorado.
Apparently it's Colorado.
Colorado? Fuck you guys.
To the natives.
Whatever. I'm gonna fade that actually. I think Colorado, their pace of
my
play.
Midwest accent.
No, if you want a Midwest accent, bro, you should have heard JD on here earlier.
I heard him a little bit. Yeah, he's
Louise,
got that
dude.
Minnesota accent.
Yeah, Minnesota, yeah.
Oh, Minnesota.
That guy was on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna fade that though. I think Colorado's pace of play is too slow.
Okay.
I'll tail. I like the over. I'll go for it. There's my analysis.
Scaring me, bro. I got
Okay.
2 fades already.
Next up, I got Texas Tech plus 19.5 at OU.
Oh, this is another tough one.
Yeah. Well, they
Yeah.
couldn't even cover fucking 14. They couldn't cover the spread against Kansas.
That was hilarious. That whole story.
They haven't been able to cover the spread against West Virginia, against Tulane, against anybody except for TCU.
That's true, dude. Oh my god, I don't know because yes. See, the thing is though, with OU, they beat TCU by 21, and TCU beat Tech by 21. So with that logic, Oklahoma should win by 42. I already know I'm fading your next pick. Do I want to just go like fuck it, let's do it. Fade. I'm gonna fade.
I'll tail. It's tough, but yeah, I mean that's a big number, and if Oklahoma shows up like they haven't yet, but they can, or at least we think that they can. This game, that spread could be over by halftime, but I'll ride with Texas Tech again. I'll tail.
Zach, I like your mindset. I'm not gonna lie.
You know, it's what I do. have to be a part of the show.
Next up, we got Florida State plus 9.5 at Clemson. Clemson cannot cover a spread, much less 9.
Have I tailed all these picks?
You have.
Shit.
For me, yeah, you already have, Zach. You're 4 for 4 on the tails. For me, this is a hard fade. I think this is finally the time that Clemson wins one fucking game against the spread. Florida State is dog shit. Clemson's at home in Death Valley. I mean, a 10-point win really isn't too much to ask for.
They turned Death Valley into Spirit Halloween.
You know?
Dude, this liquor's flowing through me, bro. I'll be fucking right back. You guys talk about Clemson.
Damn. So I want a tail for similar reasons with the ACC that I brought up with Boston College, but I can't just tail every pick. And with Clemson at home, I'll fade.
No, it's how you feel. It's how you feel.
It's due. No, and that's how I feel. I feel like I can't tail all 5 picks.
Okay. All right.
But that's actually good because none of my 5 got talked about. Last time, I think like 3 of them got talked about. so I
talking
just went
about?
through like 2 of them. So there we go.
On the podcast?
Yeah, the last time I was on for this segment, I think like
Well-
3 of mine like got talked about. So I was like, yep, definitely tailing or definitely fading. I think it was like 3 of them. It was kind of
Oh,
funny.
yeah. We had all your picks before you came on.
Yeah,
'cause
then
we
all
didn't
of a sudden
share
I
the
was
doc
on and I
with
just
you.
brought up like 2 games NFL, 2 games college, something like that. So yeah, we're chilling with college so far.
All right. Before me and Ryan got on, or go on, I'm sorry, a little drunk. Do you have any NFL picks straight up off the gate for us to Taylor fade?
Or I guess we should probably we'll get back to it. Back to college, I actually do want to say I heard your before the game starts because it's about to start here soon. So I'm on the Packers plus 6.5 as well, as I kind of talked as I got on. But I've got the same game parlay that it's a little juicy. I had
Did you hear mine?
yeah, I did, and I like it.
Juicy.
It's got some similar there's a couple similar legs.
Should I fucking place it?
Let me pull it up. This one, it's a little bit more. It's a 1-2. It's a 5-legger, so it's whatever. But plus 1900.
That's extra juicy.
So yeah, but I like it. Packers plus 6.5. Aaron
Bang.
Jones over 48.5 receiving yards.
Bang.
Rondale Moore anytime touchdown, got that one too.
Bang.
Aaron Rodgers over 264.5 passing yards.
Bang.
And then James Conner over 46.5 rushing yards.
That's a.
Bro, I might go place that right now.
I'm doing it.
It feels good. Because
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers is going to have to throw the ball, and he always finds a way. He'll find a way. James Conner, he's been getting more of the rushing work. So like him at 46, his prop was actually less than Chase Edmonds, which I found surprising. Rondale Moore, I think that's a great bet for just any time he hasn't scored one in a little bit, but it's the primetime game. He's going to get his. And then Aaron Jones, I thought his receiving prop was going to be higher than 48.5. So I like that. With all the receivers out, Aaron Jones is in for a 40 burger fantasy-wise, and then just Packers to cover the spread. So normally a little bit of a bigger parlay. I'm normally around the 3-4 leg, but I like it at plus 1900 is what I got it at.
Wait, so hold on. I'm placing it right now. So Green Bay plus 6.5, Rodgers over 264.5, Connor over 46.5, and
Yep.
then Rondale
And
ATTS.
yeah, anytime touchdown, and then Aaron Jones 48.5 receiving.
Oh yeah. That's
Ooh, that one kind of scares me.
The Aaron Jones,
Yeah, receiving. I don't know.
He's
But he
gonna
probably
catch the
will
ball.
though.
yeah, but he can do that in like 2 catches.
You're right. Actually, fuck it, I'm
And
doing
the
it.
top 3 receivers are out. That's why I was kind of surprised. I thought his receiving prop was going to be in like the 50s or low 60s. I thought it was going to be up there. So throwing down a parlay at 48.5.
Bro, $12 to win 230.
That's what I think mine was like 14, $15 to win like high 200s, like 285 or something like that. So
It's loading. Oh, it's done. All right, let's go.
it's
We
in.
ride.
We're
We
feeling
ride.
good. So yeah, had to get that in before.
I'm getting it in too. We're gonna win a bunch of money.
Oh, this is the day. So yeah, normally I
Alright.
have a lot of props. I don't really have any props. I just have the Packers against the spread and then that parlay.
Oh,
Just
fuck.
wanted to go parlay only, just ride it out, sweat it out for parlay's sake. So, all right, I guess I am up for my college Taylor fade.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll start this first one. Kind of surprised this game, or no, this game actually has been talking about. Never mind. But I'll take it with the spread. Michigan State plus 4.5 against Michigan. Like them as the home dog in a rivalry game. I think Michigan State has the best player on the field in Kenneth Walker. Michigan State can run the ball and they can throw the ball. Michigan, I don't see them, really throwing the ball. They're just going to run it. They have a really good defense. This is going to be a close, low-scoring game. But I like Michigan State plus 4.5. I think they can win the game being a home dog. So I
This
like
is
that
tough.
number.
This is tough because I really like Michigan. I have Michigan beating Ohio State at the end of the season, and that's a little bit of my hot take. But in this game, I think even if Michigan wins this game, I don't think it'll be by more than 4.5 points. That's really tough. I'm gonna tail it just because I agree with the logic of it's gonna be a close game no matter what. Elijah,
What's up?
are you still trying to place your parlay?
Yeah, my phone died, so I'm doing it on my
Oh, no.
iPad.
Oh no. Michigan State plus 4.5 against Michigan. Taylor fade.
Tail.
Tail.
Perfect.
All right, bet.
All right. Then my next one, Iowa plus 3.5 against Wisconsin. I think it's weird to say that Iowa has a better offense than somebody, but I really think they have a better offense than Wisconsin. It's very low, but that's just what I've seen. I think they're the better team. They have the better defense. Both these teams have very good defenses and very, terrible offenses. Like Iowa, they're fresh off the bye. They've had time to, kind of soak and do whatever they need to. And they're going to come out firing. And Wisconsin had the big win against Purdue last week. I think Iowa comes and smokes them.
I heavily agree with this one. We have shit on Graham Mertz all year. He is not a good quarterback. Like you said, Wisconsin's offense is nothing to be proud of. Sure, they beat Purdue. Even though Purdue beat Iowa, it doesn't matter. That's just how weird college football is. So, yeah, I completely agree. Tail Iowa plus 3.5.
The only thing that scares me with that one is it seems like a lot of people are on Iowa, but
yeah, public heavily favorites them.
Yeah, public dogs always scare me a little bit, but I've got a lot of dogs again. So what could go wrong? Next one, Indiana plus 5.5 against Maryland. Maryland should not be favored by over 5 points against anyone. And I guess I'll just end it at that.
Oh, that's another tough one. That's definitely a no play for me. But if I had to pick, I'm gonna fade this. Actually, I think Indiana has been pretty dog shit this year.
Fair.
Oh, you have Indiana?
Indiana plus 5.5 against Maryland.
Oh, my tail.
You're gonna tail?
Yeah.
It's Maryland. It's a battle of two dog shit teams, and it's 5.5.
They can't cover.
What was Elijah? What did you want on the last one? Iowa plus 3.5 against Wisconsin.
Oh, fuck Wisconsin.
Bet.
All right, it's a tail.
All right. Fourth one, Kentucky minus 1.5 against Mississippi State. I think Kentucky is just the better team overall. Starkville can be a tough place to play, but I like Kentucky, and they like to cover. They have a coach that likes covering, so I'm going to keep riding with that.
Spread's minus 1.5?
Yeah. They're on the road heading into Starkville. Kentucky's off the bye.
Wow, I didn't even see that spread. Yeah, that's a hard tail for me too. I agree. Kentucky's definitely the better team.
100%.
Yeah. All right. Elijah tail too. All right.
All right. Then this last one. This is one. We were talking about responsibility earlier. This is one. It's my alma mater's homecoming this weekend, so I'm going to travel down there. And this is a game I will. It's the night game, the nightcap, the one I will responsibly be at the bar and responsibly place way too much money on, and that is San Diego State minus 1.5 against Fresno State. This is one of those games. Fresno State. I actually had a show yesterday. I didn't really give out a play officially, but I was kind of leaning Fresno State, but they have some injuries. And San Diego State Halloween weekend, that place is going to be popping. San Diego State fans can really pop out. And with the spread that small, I think San Diego State, on here, I actually say that just minus 1. So both these teams are going to be awesome. This is one of the best games that I feel like no one's really going to talk about because both these teams are phenomenal. But give me San Diego State minus 1 against Fresno State.
Well, they might not talk about it because both of those teams aren't in Power 5 conferences.
Exactly, but
it's still a top 25 team, though.
Yeah, they're both good teams. They're both fun to watch if you've watched any of the games.
No, I'm just saying that because we know your pain because we're TCU fans, so like we know what you're talking about. Like the national media still isn't going to care.
Well, yeah, I mean, I went to an FCS school, so I mean,
yeah. All right,
yeah, I get it. I went to a D3 school my
fun,
first
though.
year.
I like FCS football. Just kind of tune it on.
I'm gonna go ahead and fade that pick. It's a tough call again. All of these are pretty tough calls for me, but I'm going to fade it just because I thought if anybody was going to upset San Diego State, it would have been Air Force last week, and they didn't. So I'm just going to go with another upset pick. I think San Diego State's got to lose one eventually.
I'm gonna tail because the Aztecs are rolling.
I mean, they are. They're
Yeah,
undefeated.
no,
Shit.
Yeah, no, it was a tough one for me. Like I said, I was kind of leaning Fresno yesterday. Then I looked more into it. Fresno's got some injuries going on, and just with San Diego State being at home, I like it. Yeah. So I went that way. So yeah, I'm excited for that one. It's a 10:30 kickoff or 9:30. This where I'm looking at, it's Eastern 9:30 kickoff. Oh,
Those are the best.
it's gonna be great. That's why I was pissed because I was looking and I saw Hawaii at 3:00. I hate when Hawaii plays at 3. But then all of a sudden it's like, wait a sec. Okay, we have Fresno State, San Diego State. Oh, I'm chilling.
Yeah, exactly.
That's better
There's
than a
always
Hawaii
games,
game.
you know. You're getting ready for bed and there's still football on TV. That's what's gorgeous. Love it.
That's called fall. That's the Tylenol PM.
Yes, sir.
That's that Tylenol PM right there.
All righty. We've got to get through these NFL picks pretty quick.
We have to get
So
through this podcast.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
you guys have been. I'm feeling great. You guys, 2:15.
I know. I was about to say I'm getting a little tired. Not gonna lie.
I love it.
I do love it. Of course, I could talk about sports regardless. This is like therapy. The best. I remember
No,
like
it really is. Dude,
Jack and Noah
work
described it as
sucked today.
sports therapy.
I was gonna say, yeah, work sucked today. I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? I need to do this. I need to just hop on, get a couple beers, and talk some sports. That's
Exactly
what I do.
Exactly. So yeah, these NFL picks, we're probably not going to give too much reasoning behind them. We'll just go through them pretty quickly and name a tail or fade. So I'll go first. Let's say Cowboys at Vikings. I'm going with the under of 55.
I like it. Tail. It's about time we
Okay.
go under. I think the Vikings suck enough just to have that go under.
Fair.
Oh, fade.
All right. Cowboys have been an over machine. All right, next up, I know Elijah's going to tail this one. I'm going with the Detroit Lions plus 3.5 at home against the Eagles. I think they finally get their first win here.
That's a hardcore tail. I have Lions money line.
I like it.
Tail. I also have money line.
Oh, you guys are a little bit more ballsy than me. Maybe I got to change over to money line. All right, next up, I'm taking another 3-pointer. I'm going Panthers plus 3 at Falcons. I think they bounce back this week.
Fade. I like the Falcons a whole lot more than the Panthers.
Interesting. All right.
Fade Cordero season.
Cordero season, motherfucker. All right. Next up is Browns minus 3.5 versus the Steelers at home.
I'm gonna fade just because of the points. I think the Browns take the dub, but 3.5 seems like a lot. They're still pretty banged up. 3.5 is too many points.
Yeah,
That's fair.
that hook's the big thing. If it was 3, maybe, but the 3.5 is really tough, especially with the NFL. I'll fade 2. I like the Steelers in that one to cover.
Steelers. All right. Anyway, last pick on my NFL card. I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers first half minus 3. And I actually forgot to write in who they're playing. Shit.
Tampa, they're playing the Saints.
Yes. Yeah. So Tampa first half minus 3.
I'm gonna tail.
Yeah, I'll tail.
Your first half bets are legendary.
I don't know how, but
I don't know what. I don't know how. I don't know why. All your first quarter and your first half bets have hit at a 100% rate for me. Anytime I follow you,
I don't understand why, but I do.
You're too good at it. But your
I am
full
a
game
sucker.
bets kind of trash. But
Not college football though. Not
your
college
first
football.
your first half and first quarter bets, fucking A1 steak sauce.
I should just
It's a
start
money
only
maker.
placing those. All
I
right,
would
Elijah.
tell you 1,000% of the time. Okay, my
Let's
turn.
hear yours.
So first up, I got Bengals minus 10.5 at the Jets.
See, as a Bengals fan, I would like to tail, but I honestly think this is a bit of a trap game, and I think. we
Oh,
win
Joe
the game.
Flacco's gonna get you?
Mike White.
I don't know, bro.
Joe
I don't know.
Flacco's gonna get them 10.5 points, bro. Are you sure?
10. Yeah, fuck you. I'm gonna tail. I gotta tail.
Yeah. That's what
Yeah,
I
no,
thought.
you got tail, and I was looking added. I don't remember the exact percentage, but and it kind of passed the eye test too. All these like double digit spreads, like the favorites have been covering. Like, yeah, obviously the Lions covered last week, but like just this whole season, it's hitting at like over 60%. Like these big spread favorites are hitting, and like it just kind of seemed like it. So I looked it up, and yeah, it was like over 60%. So yeah, I like the Bengals 10
Well,
and a half.
not last week too, though, because the Bears minus 12.5 didn't hit, and the Texans minus 17.5 still didn't.
He
hit.
was saying the opposite that the big
Yeah, no,
spreads-
those hit.
Yeah.
No, I mean like
Oh.
the favorite's been covering.
Yes.
So that's why like I'm telling
Oh,
the
I'm
Bengals, 'cause,
sorry.
yeah, the
I'm sorry.
favorites. Yeah. So it was like the Rams Lions was the only one that didn't hit because the Lions covered the rest. Yeah. Yeah, I like the favorites.
That was a big oof.
All right, Elijah.
Okay,
what's
next up, I got Colts minus 2.5 versus your Titans. Zach, sorry, I know. I love the Titans too, but the Colts are rolling. The Colts are at home, and I just see this one as the Titans that they're going to drop.
FADE.
Good job. Yeah. I'll fade too for the brand. But no, I can't fault that. Like the Titans are a team.
They're rolling too hard. They're rolling
No,
too
they
hard.
are. Like they lost to the Jets and then they beat the Bills and the Chiefs. That's just what I experienced as a Titans fan. Any Sunday, like anything can happen. The Titans, I was tweeting it out earlier. Titans can be the best team in the league when they want to be. I said they're also the nicest team because they obviously gifted the Jets their first win and probably their only win. So, some things are bigger than sports, but yeah, no, I'll fade. I like the Titans in this one, but it's going to be tough. This is a huge game for both teams. I'm really surprised that this one was played because this is their second matchup and it's only week 8. Like when you think like the AFC South who's going to win, it's the Titans or the Colts. We've known that all season. So for them to be done playing each other by week 8, that's kind of funky in my opinion, but I'll fade. I got to go Titans, even though I don't feel great about it.
Yeah, I don't feel great about it either, but
anything can
I don't
happen
know.
any Sunday for the Titans.
I don't know. I feel the fact that y'all boys just faded that makes me feel even more confident about that bet.
You should.
Oh,
You should.
all right.
You actually
Shouldn't
should.
Next up, I got Washington plus 3.5 at Denver.
I'm gonna fade this one as well. I think this is a bounce
Okay.
back. This is a bounce back spot for Denver.
I think
Home-
Denver fucking sucks.
I think they do, bro, but I think you forgot about something. Teddy fucking
Teddy
covers,
covers.
baby. Teddy
Teddy-
fucking covers.
When has Teddy covered? When did Teddy cover last?
Week 3, fuck you, but it's
Yeah.
coming around. It's
That was a
coming
long
around.
time ago.
It was a long time ago, but it's due. He's due. He's due, bro. He's
That's a
due.
tough argument to go against, but I will. I'll tail. I think Washington does it, and this helps my Broncos unders bet for season long. So I'll ride Washington.
All right, next
right.
up, it's been very documented on this podcast for the past 2.5 hours. If you're still here,
Shout
you're
out.
my best friend. Me and you can do lots of things together. Giants plus 9.5 at KC.
Oh my
Big
god, that
tail.
one's hard.
Big tail.
Big tail? Yeah, I'm gonna tail it too. I'm gonna tail it. Are they gonna have anybody back by then? I mean, other than Daniel
Giants, they're gonna have the Kadarius Toney.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. What's their last one?
Eagles Lions over 48.5.
Yeah, I like that one a lot, actually. I didn't even think about that one. I'm gonna tail that. Eagles Lions, I like that one. Over 48, it's not too much.
I'll fade. I think it's gonna be an ugly game.
That's a
good
fade.
I think it could go. I think that game's gonna be one where it's either gonna be like a 42-35 type shit, where it just doesn't make any sense, or it's gonna be like 13-7, and the teams just barely get a first down.
I could see that all of a sudden it's like 14-13 end of first quarter. And you're like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like just a couple random big plays, but
Those games are the best though when you have the over. It's just
Yeah.
blissful.
I just wish that the game was like Thursday Night Football. If that game was Thursday
the
Night
Eagles
Football,
Lions.
yeah.
That would be pretty electric, honestly.
Because Packers Cardinals should be Sunday Night Football. I'm gonna say it right now because fucking Cowboys Vikings, that should not be Sunday Night Football.
They got to rotate the schedule. You know, they got to get people in there.
I don't know.
All right. Anyway, though,
I-
Zach, close it out with your NFL picks.
All right, this is perfect because I was talking about with college how like last time I was on the show I only got to do like 2, but since we're wrapping up the show, this is perfect because a lot of my NFL ones have been talked about. But Packers plus 6.5, I think we're all on that.
Taylor.
Yep, definitely.
Lions money line, we already talked about that.
Yep.
Bengals 10.5, already talked about that. Giants
Yep.
plus 10, and then my last one, Seahawks -3 against the Jaguars.
Seahawks.
I'm gonna tail.
-3.
I'm gonna tail.
It's an ugly cover. We're
It's
talking
ugly.
about Eddie, but Gino covers. It's always ugly. It's tough to watch, but he's been covering,
That's a
Yeah,
Portland
and they're
Storm.
at home.
That's a Portland Storm, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna tail that too. I've made 4 units off Geno Smith their last 2 games. So
It doesn't make sense. It's terrible to watch. It's ugly. I was on Seahawks against the Saints. It happens though. He'll get a big play.
yeah,
So.
he that's just bro. Honestly, Geno Smith is better than Tom Brady. Fuck everybody.
Brian, shut the fuck up.
Would y'all rather have Geno Smith or Gardner Minshew? That's a good question.
Fucking Gardner Minshew.
Really?
Yeah.
100%.
Minshew
I don't
mania.
I don't know, bro. Geno Smith.
Who's got a better mustache? Gardner Minshew.
Okay, yeah. Who's fucking faster? Geno Smith. Who's more mobile?
That's debatable,
Who's
actually.
faster in jorts? That's a question we need to ask.
See, that is
And,
that's
hey,
I
don't
can't
have
argue
to
with
figure
that.
that one
actually,
out.
dead ass, bro. Gardner Minshew's speed rating on Madden is 69.
No.
There's your answer.
All right.
Can't
well,
debate that.
I can't argue with a 69 Madden rating, but
All right, this has been an awesome fucking podcast.
yeah,
Thank
this
you
is
all whoever tuned in for it. Thank you all who commented to make me and Ryan drink.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you all for joined in to make this podcast great. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, JD. Thank you, Noah. Thank you, Braden. I love you all. We're 50 fucking episodes in. We got 50 fucking more, and we got 50 times 1,000 more after that. So God bless America, and God bless the Going the Distance podcast.
dude, I fucking love you. Like, I can tell Elijah's a little bit drunk just off that
I was
closing
gonna say,
statement.
I don't want to talk. I need to be quiet after that. Like that's how we need to end it. Like that's the perfect ending. I shouldn't be talking right now.
Honestly, yeah, we'll leave it at that. Elijah just summed everything up perfectly. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. This has by far been my personal favorite episode we have done. This has been awesome. We were really hoping not to flop, and I think it's safe to say this didn't flop. We had a lot of awesome people in the comments. We really appreciate you guys. Appreciate Zach for coming on and all of our other guests. Be sure and check out all of our content, everybody's blogs over at gtdsports.com. And yeah, like Elijah said, here's to 50 more episodes. So thank you guys for tuning
And
in.
get fucking vaccinated or don't. It's your choice.
All right. Well, I don't know if we should have closed out on that, but
All right, so yeah, now I can talk. Yeah, no, thanks for having me on, guys.
No, honestly, this has been fucking comical. We should definitely do something similar to this again in the future.
For the
But, yeah.
century mark.
Yeah, for the century mark, for sure. We got to hit it even bigger for the century mark. But we got a last comment here. Hot take, good podcast. I think that is a poetic way.
That's a shot.
That's a poetic way. You know
That's
what?
a shot.
All right, we got to close out the episode. We got to take
Zach,
a shot.
The best way to
Bring
do
out
it.
the whiskey.
Oh fuck! I already have one poured.
I know you got it.
All right, this one's for you, Jay Willis. Shot, you got it? All right.
Cheers. Is downstairs.
Oh, baby. Woo! All righty. Thank you guys again for listening. We'll be back here live again on all platforms on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Make sure to check us out over at gtdsports.com. I don't even want to end this, man. I really don't. It's like hard to end it. But we got
go on
to.
another rant.
No, we got to end it. It's time to end it.
All right.
All
God
righty.
bless America.
Yeah,
Peace out.
God bless it. All right. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, everybody. We'll be here again Tuesday at 8 o'clock.